To the Games Done Quick Hot Fix. Tonight we have something incredibly special for you. Tonight is Games Done Quick Hot Fix presents Speedrunners and Dragons. My name is Adef, and I'll be your host and dungeon master for the evening. But before we get into things, just a couple of quick announcements for you gamers. First of all, SGDQ 2021 Online is July 4th to the 11th, and the games list will be released sometime today. Tweet at Games Done Quick and let us know what you're hoping to see on the games list. Frame Fatales, the all-woman speedrunning event, will be returning on August 15th to the 21st with Flame Fatales. Game submissions will be open from May 18th to the 25th. Go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more info on the upcoming event. Now, gamers, it is my distinct honor, my pristine pleasure to welcome you to Speedrunners and Dragons. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign featuring speedrunning personalities. Just to be very clear up front, this is not a speedrun of a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, though fun that may be. This is merely Dungeons & Dragons featuring speedrunning persons. And so what we will be playing for you this evening is a one-shot adventure written by yours truly in the world of our first campaign, which concluded earlier this year. All adventures played on the show on Speedrunners and Dragons are completely original, written by me, and they take place within the bounds of 5th edition rules. However, that being said, this is, above all, a home game. There are rules I may bend as Dungeon Master, and I have plenty of home rules. The goal of this game is for us to just have fun while playing and present an entertaining campaign for all of you to watch. Of course, we will be abiding by the vast majority of the rules, and die rolls are still final on almost everything. But when it comes to any deviance from any of that, I'll have the final say as DM, as all of you I'm sure know. So, all you number crunchers out there, I thank you for your passion, but the pencil and paper may be put away and simply enjoy the show. So, as I said before, tonight's episode of Speedrunners and Dragons will be in the world of our first campaign. And since Campaign 2 is starting within this month, just under 2 weeks, we've got some players back from Campaign 1 who are a part of Campaign 2 to do our show tonight. So let me introduce the players to you now. Playing Caius, the half-elf paladin, is retro speedrunner, fighting game tournament host, and GDQ HOTFIX showrunner, the Blacktastic. Bobby, how you doing?
Pretty all right. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you back on. And playing Gouger, the Kenku Rogue, is Mario Odyssey speedrunner, Fall Guys master, recent challenger approaching participant, and host of the Fallapalooza tournament series, Dangers.
Adef, long time no
know.
see.
I just but 12 short hours ago. Well, wait, longer than that? Like 15 hours. Some amount of time that is less than 24 and greater than 12. We were right here.
That's maths for you,
That's
baby.
maths. That's how you know he's Canadian. He didn't say math. Playing Lucius, the Tiefling Paladin, is Ocarina of Time speedrunning king and world-renowned owner of adorable dogs, Danny B. Danny, unmute yourself on Discord and talk to me.
Hello, good call. I was about to forget that I was muted on Discord.
I was looking. I had the
going?
inside track. How are you, Danny?
I'm doing great. I'm
You
excited
excited
to play Lucius again.
Excellent. Yeah, so this is kind of exciting, right? So welcome back, boys. This is certainly a treat for us. Just a few months ago, we thought we were finished with these characters and this world, but now the lads get to reprise their roles, and I get to write inside this world again, which is really exciting. And just as a heads up to everyone watching, I will be trying to avoid major spoilers for Campaign 1 as much as possible this evening. But obviously, given that this one-shot takes place after the events of the campaign, that isn't entirely possible. So if you want to catch up on any or all of Campaign 1, or if you're excited about Campaign 2, or if you see tonight and you're like, oh my god, this rocks, please head on over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. You can also type !S&D in the chat, and the YouTube link will show up. I would really love it if you would subscribe. We have a big goal of just growing for Campaign 2, so it's very exciting. I think that's all the formalities. Boys, you ready to play?
Ready.
You bet.
Let's do it.
Okay, so for the uninitiated, our story takes place on the island nation of Shalane. A secluded but diverse country, Shalane plays host to a wide array of races, environments, and cities. From Tahwain, the ruffian town in the west, to Tiber, the treetop citadel of the elves in the east, there is no shortage of wondrous tales here. Shalane is named for the goddess Shayla, and the pantheon of this world truly holds many of its own secrets and tales. But that's a story for another day. The key component of the tale told in Campaign 1 was that of the Rift. This massive geological feature in the center of Shalane was the result of a terrible event in Shalane's past known as the Cataclysm. A seemingly endlessly deep ravine stretching from north to south, the evils of Shalane sought its mysteries. Our heroes aimed to destroy the Green Hand, a group of radical cultists who followed a man called the Palm. Our story tonight features a loose end, a remnant trace of the Green Hand yet to be tied up. 3 months have passed since the events which took place at the Rift that left each of your names firmly in the history books. Each of you has received word from the Council of Five, which is sort of like the government of Shalane, that you are to meet at the northern edge of Cilicia, a humble town just west of the Rift, and it's the town in which your grand adventure initially began, if you'll remember back to all those months ago. You know not why you've been called, only that it is urgent. So, Lucius and Caius, having come from the east, you are on horseback, and you met at the bridge, which is the traversal over the Rift. You traveled the rest of the way together, recanting stories of your new homes, your new jobs, and Gouger, Billingston Billingsworth, who is the leader of Tahwain, he replaced a man called Yovos, who was a Triton. Billingston Billingsworth is a very tall, very burly, human man, and he wears gilded gold armor, and he has a massive double-edged battle axe, and in fact, it's the only weapon he'll wield. He's a hardy man. I explained this for the chat, obviously. You three are very acquainted with our Sir Billingston Billingsworth. Billingston chartered a carriage for you, Gouger, and he actually wound up joining you. But he made sure the exterior of the carriage was understated so as to more fit your style, you know what I mean? Billingston said that Grum was preoccupied with affairs in the city of Shalos with Lysdal, and given the injuries he sustained in the battle at the Rift, he recommended Billingston take his place. And so you traveled in grand yet subtle manner to Cilicia. As all of you were about an hour from the town or so, you entered into a torrential downpour. So, Caius and Lucius from the east, Gouger and Billingston from the west, just these deeply gray clouds start to set in and cover the sky in all directions. And rain pelts down on your armor and clothes, especially those of you on horseback. It's a little unpleasant. But also the smell of fresh rain fills the air. So it's not all bad. And Gouger, once you and Billingston step out of the carriage at the southern end of town, you feel the rain in full, especially now that you're in Cilicia proper. The rain feels heaviest here, making it nearly impossible to see more than like 20 or 30 feet in front of you. And as you walk past the furrowed fletching near the town center, memories flood back of when you and Grum first stepped foot in the humble establishment and by chance encounter met Lucius and Caius. Your destinies forever changed and menus forever opened. Just at that very moment, Gouger, you look to your right and catch a glimpse of an unmistakable, tall duo of paladins. The two are standing beneath an awning where their horses are roped up and drinking from a well. And Billingston pats you on the back, Gouger, and he says, "I'm Billingston Billingsworth. Now, let's go. I believe that's our friends. Those are our friends over there. We should really go talk to them. Would you like to go? Let's go talk to them."
Why, yes, Billingston Billingsworth.
Oh, I love this thing where you mimic the way I sound and the way I talk. Oh, it's just, it's gallant. Oh, it's great. Let's go. And Billingston sort of begins to walk forwards towards Lucius and Caius. Caius, Lucius, you obviously see the imposing presence nearing you, and even from 20 or 30 feet away, you begin to notice precisely who it is.
Sir Lucius,
if you didn't hear him already.
Yeah. Do mine eyes deceive me?
It seems they don't.
Paladin friend.
Billingston, it's great to see you.
Oh, my horned friend. Oh, Lucius, you are dastardly. And Caius, oh, Caius, I'm Billingston Billingsworth. It's good to see you.
Well, of course. Well, it must not be pure coincidence that we were all here.
No. It appears a word from the Council of Five has reached our ears, nay, our parchment, and they did ask us to come here post-haste. And just then, you sort of hear, excuse me, and you hear a voice just above the rain kind of shouting in your direction, and it's a young guard in what appears to be altered Columnosian military police garb. So it's sort of like, you know, the military police stuff you had seen in the Columnosian Guard of before, but it seems like it's been changed, altered, and the insignia is kind of rubbed off. And he says, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Wow, it really is you. I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan. Captain Kolar talks about your great deeds all the time, and how he was there when you all started out in the, you know, in here in Silesia, how you were just all over the place, and then became mighty heroes. He's just sort of like, he's beet red, really excited to see the three of you.
How is Mr. Callum Kolar?
He's great, actually. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't want to come off too strong right away, I guess. Captain Kolar would like to meet with all of you on the northern edge of town. He's the one that sent word for you to be brought here. Would you please follow me? And the young man begins to jog northwards through town. Not even walking, this dude is like... and he's clearly trying to get through the rain quickly. And he turns around, he's like, come on then!
I'm on his tail.
Sure, yeah, we'll follow.
Yep, right
Excellent.
after him.
Billingston walks. He's just walking. No, not a care in the world. Passing shop after shop, some with their windows lit, including Brimling Books and Buys and Callock's Food and Feeds, where Gouger purchased or stole oysters? Were they oysters?
Yes.
Or were they clams?
It was
No,
oysters.
the world is your oyster.
That's right. You also pass the Temple of Solace in all its grandeur. And as you reach the northern edge of town, a familiar face greets you. And as he pulls his hood down and rain begins to patter on his face, you immediately recognize Captain Callum Kolar of the Columnosian Military Police. But he seems to have almost taken charge of Silesia. This is his place now, which you sort of gathered earlier in the adventure anyway. But yeah, you also recognize that his armor is quite different. It's like it's been altered to have different insignias. And he says, it's good to see you, boys. I hope you've all been well.
We have. Hello, Captain. It's an unfortunate omen for whatever you've called us here today, gesturing at the weather.
Yes, I wouldn't have called for the council's assistance were it not absolutely necessary. You see, we've got a bit of a problem. There's a group that was hit hard by the Green Hand without us ever really knowing it, and their troubles have not ceased. The river folk of the Shalanian Delta haven't taken kindly to strangers for some time now, and it seems that the Green Hand really didn't help. 3 days ago, a young princess from among them came to Silesia and asked for my help. She seemed desperate. All she told me was that they needed surface warriors, and that they had to be powerful. That's also when the rain began. We housed and fed her, and then 2 guards from her city came the next day and brought her home. And, you know, at this point, he sort of gestures out to the land in front of you, and he says, I'm afraid this is as far north as I take you. I don't think they'd enjoy seeing me or any of my men strolling into their lands. If you take a look at a map of Shalane, and he sort of gestures down to a piece of parchment he's sort of holding and using his cloak to cover a little bit, and you may have your own maps open. He points to this portion of the map that is it's like far east of Impor Bas and to the northeast of the mountains, and it's like this Shalanian river delta, right? And it doesn't really look like there's anything on the map of note other than the river itself. He says, you'll want to get here, to the southern tip of this stretch of the river on the delta. And he points to this sort of fork in the southern tip of the river. He's like, any questions?
You mentioned the term surface warriors. What did you mean by that, Captain?
Well, the river folk are and always have been tritons. They are amphibious creatures. They live both above and below, but they prefer below, as it were. And so we, as you may have guessed, are the so-called surface dwellers.
All right. Did she give any more information about the problems that they've been encountering with the Green Hand?
She seemed nervous, potentially upset. There was just a lot of going on in her head, it seemed. It really just seemed to be like she was in need of our help and not really willing to say too much. Whether or not that's because she wanted to, I don't know.
Is she here? Can we speak with her?
She was taken home by guards from her city. It seemed a little bit against her will.
Has there been any word of us of our journey, our going there? How would they know of these strong surface warriors if they don't know who we are?
Well, I think word of the heroes of Shalane has reached all corners of the nation, as you might imagine. They do embark in trade, and they're bound to hear about it. And clearly our young princess knows something and wants your help. And the Council of Five is in a new era. We are trying to help anyone that needs it.
Well, I've been itching for something to do since the close of our great chapter a few months ago.
I love to hear that. Well, good luck to you, boys. Ah, Billingston. And Billingston just comes up. He's like, boys! Oh my god. It took me a while. I don't want to expend too much energy on the beginning, you know. I'm sort of just trying to keep reserves, you know, energy in the tank. What did I miss?
We'll explain it to you on the way.
Okay, sounds great. Captain Callum Kolar, a pleasure. And he's like, yes. And Captain Callum Kolar sort of backs up a little bit and, you know, points forward and he says, be cautious. The river folk are strong and proud. I can't imagine what's plaguing to them if one of them came to us for help.
Understood.
And Billingston says, well, off we go onto something I don't know what it is. And then he just begins to walk north.
You know, the ironic thing of it all is that as we're heading into foreign territory, it just kind of feels like same old, don't you think?
Yeah, right back into it, like no time has passed at all.
It's what we like to hear. It's what we love to hear. As a DM, it brings a tear to my eye. Okay, so as you begin to walk northward, the rain truly is quite heavy, and it feels like the eye of the storm, as it were, except not literally, because I think eyes of the storm are where there isn't rain. But the center of the storm system seems to be centered around this sort of north-south line stretching from the Shalanian River Delta down to Cilicia. And so the rain does not really let up very much. And on this walk, you know, you're passing on your left, you can see the Grand Mountains and Empor Bas in the far distance. But you also see the ocean's edge begin to appear on the north. And you know, trees every so often, obviously. But then after a while, you reach a cobblestone path. There's a path you've never seen before. None of you have ventured into this area, not really for any reason other than there was no reason to, because there's, you know, nothing here. And the cobble path sort of winds and winds, and eventually walking on it for a while, you start to see these archways, like every 100 feet or so, and they look to be made of some kind of like tempered glass. They're these beautiful silver and blue archways, and there are these magical lights sort of every once in a while, and they begin to become a little more dense as you continue northward on the path. Everybody roll perception. This will be our first roll of the evening. Lucius, what you got for me?
Got an 8.
Great roll, Lucius. I'm so proud.
Thank you. Starting it off strong.
Caius.
A 13.
Excellent. And Gouger.
I also got an 8.
Well, here comes Billingston Billingsworth, the ever perceptive. He got a 10. So, Caius.
Perfect.
Caius. You sort of hear a language you don't understand. And it's like, you're not sure it's language, but you feel like it's someone talking. And then you hear it sort of get louder, 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 and then it hushes. And then you hear the voice call out to you, and it's in a language you don't understand.
Wow. All right. So I'll signal to my party that we're not alone, but I want to cautiously walk forward toward the noise source.
Sure.
Did we all hear the voice call out?
No, for some reason only Caius really picks it up. It's not like because it's magical or anything. He's just the only one that hears it over the rain due to his like position.
Gotcha.
And what do you say, Caius, if you call out?
I'll just say, hello, who are you? I'm not sure what we're dealing with here, but we are the Warrior Four. Well,
And
you know.
yeah, and the Triton basically presents himself. He walks forward in the rain a little bit, and you see this like 5'8", 5'9". He's got blue skin and long flowing green hair that doesn't look tattered or anything. It's nice hair, and he's holding a trident, and he's got scaly armor up his entire body down to his boots, and he says, "Who goes there?"
We're the surface warriors the princess called out for in Cilicia.
And he turns around and kind of looks at. Clearly, there are more that you can't see, and they sort of present themselves. And there are 4 of these guys, and they're sort of stacked up. So there's 2 in front and 2 just back to the right and left of them. And the one in front who initially addressed you looks at them and says, "We didn't call for any surface warriors. That's not something that we were doing. So."
Do you happen to have a problem with the Green Hand? Because we have some experience with them.
Look, I don't care what sort of word has traveled among the surface. That's not... We're not here to... We don't need you. Please go away.
Where have I heard that before?
Listen, we don't want to impose our help on you, but your princess was definitely in Cilicia not that long ago.
And very desperate.
Oh, it was you that stole the princess? Plagued her mind, made her come out of the river and go to town and say nonsense? That was you?
No, we were called as a result of whatever nonsense she told the guards in Cilicia.
Okay, yeah. See, what this is sounding like to me, to my ears, what this is sounding like is stupid. Basically, I'm gonna need you to turn around and go away, or we're going to have a problem.
I'm going to attempt to... go ahead. Before I do anything.
Is there nothing unusual about, I don't know, the weather, anything, nothing suspicious at all?
Okay, well, now you're asking personal question, okay? See, the thing about the weather is that we do that, okay? I'm not even supposed to tell you that, but if it gets you to go away, I'll be very happy for that. I want you to leave. So we make the rain. King is very unhappy,
Why is your king unhappy?
Okay, these are more questions than I was willing to answer. Seems like every time follow-up question. I don't care. That's not like for me to say. So basically, please leave. The final.
Right. Now I'm going to want to channel divinity to become the emissary of peace. So what that means, I'm going to attempt to persuade him. However, I grant myself a +5 bonus to my charisma for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to try to attempt to reason with this, river folk, right? Is that what the...
Yeah, I think that might be... You surmise that river folk might be like a surface dweller term for them, but they're Tritons.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to reason with the Triton because obviously, and this is what I'm going to tell him. We mean no one any trouble or harm here. Whoever had come out from your region to signal some sort of urgency, this is what we're here to find out. If there is nothing, like I've been saying this for the past 17 episodes or something.
No one wants your help.
Nothing wrong.
No one wants your help. Everyone's like, don't come into my city, but if you do, I hope nothing's wrong. Roll persuasion.
And show. I got a 22.
Yeah, okay. You're rolling against a 5, so... Okay. This guy's like, he turns around to his comrades and he's like, what now is happening is I'm thinking that maybe we should let them go. I've had a, how you say, change of heart. So I'm thinking we should now. They look strong. And one of the guys in the back is like, no, it's a bad idea. Very bad. And then the guy on the left is like, I agree, bad. But the two guys in the front are like, no, I think it's actually, they seem good. I don't know. Something about them. Big air of promise. And Billingsworth steps forward. And he's like, damn it! There is a lot of chit-chat going on. I don't know if you know, but I am Billingsworth. That is who I am. And I just would like to proceed forward, please, now. And one of the guys, as Billingston steps forward and says this, one of the guys in the back sees this as a threat and throws his trident at Billingston.
Uh-oh.
And Billingston catches it. And he's like, oh, no, that's not going to do. And he turns the trident upside down and slams it into the ground. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, no.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
What is it with bonus, just out of curiosity, since you can't crit fail or succeed
It is a
with an
1.
initiative roll?
It is a 1.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Caius?
I have a 7.
Okay. I'll also switch the music a little bit here for my boys. Okay, you got a 7, Caius?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gouger?
15.
Okay. And Gouger, you're up first. I know you love that.
I do. So is everybody engaged in combat right now? Is everybody getting all up in arms?
Yeah, so the guys in the front are like, oh, damn it, that's not okay. And they sort of, get their tridents ready, and everybody's into it. And the trident in the back sort of pulls like a dagger out of his back. Or no, he readies a short bow.
Okay.
So there's 2 guys in the front, 2 guys flanking them to the back a little bit. And the 2 guys on the right have tridents, the guy you were initially speaking to and the man just to his back left, your right. And then the 2 guys on your left both have short bows drawn.
Okay. Would it be taking an action to try and use, like, some reasoning still in this situation?
You're a worldly bird. What do you think?
I think it probably would be an action. That
You were
won't
asking
do.
if it was an action. I thought you were asking if
Yeah.
it was a good action.
Yeah,
And I
no,
was
if
like,
it was an
yes,
action period.
This will be an action, yeah.
Okay, so I am not necessarily that confident in my ability to speak my way out of combat. So I'm going to do what rogues do best and attack first. And that is coming with a lot of a lot of power. Gosh, do I love it. So the one with the trident that just threw it, I am going to focus on them and I am going to shoot them with my short bow.
Okay.
I have to remind myself what all the craziness that rogues can do here. So this comes with sneak attack. If I have advantage on the attack roll or if I attack first, I don't need advantage, I believe. Something like that. Assassinate.
We're rusty.
We're a little bit rusty on
This
the
is
rogue.
the good stuff.
You have
No worries.
advantage on attack rolls against any creature that has not taken a turn in combat yet. So, because of that, I get advantage on my attack rolls, triggering my sneak attack against this creature. Does a 15 hit?
No, a 15 does not hit.
Then that's it.
All right,
I
you
will-
draw your bow, and the arrow whizzes by the guy on the right. The rain is sort of shifting your perspective a little bit. It's difficult to make the shot.
Right. How far away are we from them?
Like 15 feet.
15 feet. Then I use my bonus action to disengage backwards 30 feet.
Sweet. Up next is the Tritons. So the 2 on the back right both shoot at Gouger. Gouger, does a 18 hit you?
Yes.
Does a 10 hit you?
No.
Okay, one of them strikes you. Roll a Constitution saving throw, please, and Lucius, remind him of his benefits.
Yes. Constitution saving throw. If you are within, let's see. If you're within 10 feet of me, you gain my charisma bonus on any saving throw. And my charisma bonus is +7. I'm a very charismatic tiefling.
That is great, but I did just back up 30 feet from you, so I don't get it.
Oh, well, that stinks.
But that's okay. That's okay. But what am I need to make a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
17.
You succeed.
Nice.
So as the arrow strikes you, you take only 6 damage.
Okay. Also, I can use a reaction.
You also take, sorry,
Okay.
5 on top of that. So 11 damage total.
I'm going to use my reaction Uncanny Dodge, which halves the damage that I just took.
Sure. So as the arrow whizzes by you, it sort of catches your side a little bit, and it feels cold. Like the arrow, feels very cold against your skin.
Interesting.
And that hurts you. You done? Oh wait, it's not your turn. The other 2 Tritons, one of them's going to approach Billingston and try to stab him with a trident. That is a hit, and it will do 14 damage. So just little stab, pierces the armor a little bit in like a vulnerable spot, and Billingston goes, "Oh!" The other one tries to attack him. That die did not land. That is a miss. So then another stab, he dodges. He goes just like that. And up next is Billingston, who is just going to take a mighty swing at the one nearest him. That is a hit. Oh, and Billingston is mighty. He does 19 damage on that swing. Pretty brutal. He just catches this guy right on the side and falls forward a little bit. He's like, "Ow, that really hurt." And that's Billingston's turn. And Caius, it's you.
All right. Was the Triton that we were talking to before combat still there? Is he still there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's engaged with Billingston. He just got hit.
That's what. Okay, all right. That's the one. Okay. I am going to approach that one. Try to flank that one. And currently engaged with Billingston. And I'm going to take out this maul. I'm going to take out this maul and try to hit him with it. Whap him with it once.
Whap him with it.
Twice. Let us see. That is a really beefy attack bonus too. With that, does a 16 hit.
Yes.
Cool. That bonus. So with that maul, it is a 2d6 plus 3 or 10 damage.
Excellent. He looks pained. He says "ouch" again in a very German accent.
Can I convince him to call this off? He's gonna die.
He's not looking on death's doorstep. He still looks mighty.
Okay.
Lucius, it's you. All right. I'm not having this battle. This seems like a waste of time and energy for everyone involved. So I'm gonna go sit down right at the center of where the three of them are engaged, Billingston and Caius and the lead Triton. I'm gonna plop myself down on the ground and cast darkness and just envelop everybody within a 15-foot radius sphere.
Oh my god, I can't, I suddenly am not able to see. I don't, oh my lord.
And while I'm doing this, I yell, "This is a waste of energy. We know you guys need help with the green hand. I don't know if you are aware of the cataclysm that happened a few months ago, but we saved the entire island from it. So you should call off this battle."
Your reputation precedes you. Please get rid of the smoke. I can't see anything. Is this even smoke? I can't touch it. What's happening?
Only if you promise to call them off. Tell them that.
Okay, stop. Everybody stop fighting.
Okay. I snap my fingers and dissipate the darkness.
The two bowmen are like aiming at like the sky, and the other two tritons with the tridents have sort of stepped back a little bit, and then you hear a voice in the distance sort of running after you. It's like, stop this! And you see a figure come into view that is wearing like gold versions of the scaly armor that you've seen on the others, and he has a more like ornate trident on his back, and he's like, "Stop! What are you doing? These are honored guests." And this trident looks very stately. He's very heroic looking. And the guy's like, I'm sorry, Captain. We're supposed to fight, you know, so I did it. We did that. He's like, I don't care. Stop. And he sort of pushes them aside, and he goes up to Lucius and extends his hand to hoist you up.
I accept the hand, and I pull myself up.
Yeah, he pulls you up, and it's this, you know, he yells something in a tongue you don't recognize at the other Tritons, and they disengage further. Sure. It's not German, it's Aquin, but I guess in this world now it's German. I don't speak German. He says something like, Verrucht. I think that means speed. I don't know. That's the best I got as far as go away. So they disengage, or that means like velocity or something. I don't know. And he says, greetings. My name is Ravas. I am chief royal guard to my king, Dunlis III. I'm terribly sorry for the treatment you have just received at the hands of my guards. They've been instructed to meet any and all trespassers in combat. So we've had pretty poor luck over the past few months, basically, when it comes to visitors. I'm sorry.
So you know who we are?
Yes, Caius Lucius Gouger, and if I'm not mistaken, Lord Billingsworth of Tarwain. Oh my, should I say it? I'll say it anyway. Hi, I'm Billingsworth, it's good to see you. He clearly knows who you are, and he's like, I think my princess may have come to look for you specifically.
That's what we were told. What can you tell us about the plague you've been facing with the Green Hand?
Walk with me. I'll take you to the city and explain along the way. That works for you?
Sure.
Okay.
Can we patch up my friend here? Gouger. It seems a little nicked, scuffed.
Holding like a cold arrow in my hand. Why did you not relay this message?
I literally told them right before we left. Like, did you send word? Are we going to be attacked? Or are we not going to be attacked? It's going to be fine. Apparently, it wasn't fine.
Okay, well,
how do your people work?
The princess wasn't supposed to leave. She called for you of her own accord. It was not a decision that the king made. I'm sure that's made abundantly clear by the fact that my men just tried to chop your heads off.
Pointedly.
Yes, you're not supposed to be here. The princess did this, but I also served the princess, so here I am. He says, walk with me?
I'm striding alongside of him.
Billingston's like, I have nothing better going on. And so he begins to walk, and Ravas walks forward, and he pulls his trident off of his back and is holding it kind of like a walking stick almost, like just as he walks. And you don't have to walk far before you're at the water's edge. And it's like this really nice stone platform on the water's edge. It kind of looks like a dock, but there's no ropes or anything. There's nowhere for a boat to be. And the water is right on the lip of this like stone embankment. And he says, where is it? Yeah, so he says, look, I understand that Her Highness the Princess Nethrin came to your realm and sought assistance. The king believes we do not need your help, but if the princess believes in you, I too shall place my faith in you. I can get you counsel with King Dunlas. Just please stand back for a moment. And he sort of pushes you back a little bit. And then there's this tiny hole in the ground, in the stone. And he places his trident, he jams it into the ground and turns it like a key. And as he does this, some kind of latch is thrown beneath the ground. You hear it like, and suddenly blue light sort of streaks along the ground and fills all the lines in the artisanal work that you couldn't see before in the stonework. It's like this gorgeous motifs of fish and water and things like that. As this happens, the water before you begins to part, and stairs are seen heading downwards in the water, and it sort of parts like this. So there's a point where there's still the water is together, and it sort of continues to part diagonally on both sides. And it forms kind of like a tunnel of air. And he says, let's go. We shouldn't keep the king waiting.
I have no choice but to follow.
So as you begin to walk down the staircase with Ravas, the water behind you, several stairs up, begins to close. And as you get beneath the water surface level, it's almost like a miraculous magical bubble of air in this tunnel that is basically pinched at both ends and moving with you. And it displaces the water out of the way on the stairs. And
I call out to Ravas and I'm like, is this safe? I'm wearing like 50 pounds of armor. If I'm not going to be able to swim out of here.
That is actually worth knowing, that you cannot swim with heavy armor on. That is like literally a function of the game, just so you know. And so, yeah, there are like these small magical lights on pedestals every 10 feet or so, also on this like physical staircase. And it illuminates the stairway as you walk down, because obviously light doesn't penetrate very deep in the water after a while. And Rava says, it's going to be fine. We use this walkway all the time. We don't typically swim down to the city because there are fish, schools of fish that call this land their home, and we don't want to really disrupt their ecosystem too much if we don't have to. There used to be countless fish around this walkway, around our whole city, to be honest. It's quite a sight to behold. And you do see occasional small schools of fish, very vibrant fish, swim around the tunnel and past you. And one, like, falls into the air bubble and it's like, and Billingson picks it up and puts it back into the water and it swims away. And he says, the local fish populations have been frightened for the past few months. Well, I suppose that's why you're here. And he just continues to walk. So this is kind of an opportunity to ask him questions if you have any.
You said the king doesn't think that we're needed. Do you agree with him?
Well, look, the problem we are faced with is large, and the king was not happy when the princess left, right? She left, he's not pleased. He wants her to stay, definitely not to go talk to anybody about what's going on down here, because the king is very proud. We are very proud people. We don't want assistance. We don't need assistance. I mean, the bottom line is that basically the world has forsaken us anyway, so we don't ask for help because we know it's not coming. Nobody in Shalane cares about us. We just do our own thing. They're, away, right? And Lord Yovos, who was Lord of Tarhuain, was an aristocrat here in our city, Koloktin, that you're about to be in. And he was sort of placed in power in Tarhuain by the king as a deal. And then Yovos just forsaken us and doesn't do anything on Council of Five for us. And so we sort of just, tensions grow, they mount, and no help coming, and there's a lot going on that's bad. And king is too proud to send his own men to solve the problem, so maybe you being here is good.
I suppose you don't know what happened to Yovos, do you?
We know he's dead. And I know this man has taken his place in seat of Tarhuain. Yes, I'm Billings with Lord of Tarhuain. Oh, there's a fun drilling noise happening.
In the water.
Yeah, I'm going to close my window. That is quite loud.
For the record, I can't hear it. I don't know if it's coming through for you guys.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either.
It's probably coming through on stream. Oh, how it is Saturday night and the boys are out dragging dumpsters in the alley. So, what was the question?
I think it was answered. We got through it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's like, perhaps we should save what happened to Yovos for the king. I'm personally not a huge fan of Yovos, kind of an annoying guy, to be honest with you. Very skittish, very annoying. He just came from a family of great wealth. Big position of power in Kaloctin, right? So the king sort of had no choice. Pick Yovos. Yovos go become lord of town, not even talk to us anymore. That's basically the sort of the rundown. And so eventually, after some time of going down these stairs, the stairs level out into a platform. And looking over the edge of the platform, you know, there's a ravenous amount of water. I'm not saying ravenous as in like, rah! Ravenous as in like, it is like a ravine. I don't think that's a word, but it is now.
It is, but it means hungry.
Yes. So there's a lot of water below you. And, but also, just in the distance, you can see, also, I guess I should, just before this, do a little bit of, I'm sure a lot of people have just joined us. So this is Speedrunners and Dragons. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign featuring speedrunning personalities. I'm Adef, the Dungeon Master. This is an original one-shot adventure that we're performing for you in order to publicize the fact that Campaign 2 of our show starts later this month. ! S&D in the chat for more info. Subscribe to our YouTube. Okay. Just trying to initiate all the people that have come in. So looking, you know, past the platform, and the riverbed is about 30 feet below you, and what lay in front of you catches your eye. Large air bubbles surround immense blue buildings. An entire city under the river's surface greets your eyes, its intricate, magically lit lights bouncing off the intricate glasswork and mesmerizing blue stonework. It's otherworldly. And Rava says, "Welcome to Kaloctin." Or I guess I should say, Willkommen auf Kaloctin. You're the first surface dwellers to be invited down here in some time. I'd love to show you around, but I fear we must go to the King's Hall immediately.
And let us make haste.
Yeah. As Ravis walks you past a majestic fountain nearly 20 feet in radius with a floating golden light above it, you begin to notice that the bypassing locals either intentionally avert your eyes or look at you with questioning gazes. It's a quite unwelcoming air. And someone who didn't know your story might think that it would be foreign for you to receive such treatment from the locals of a city, because if you're new to us, these are heroes. Gouger, Caius, Lucius, and Billingsworth in tow, these are heroes of the realm. And little do these people know that this was pretty much your reception in every major city of Shalane.
History repeats itself.
Yeah. So you walk through the vibrant city center and up a steep staircase to a central tall building with stained glass windows and several towers jutting out from it. There's a large doorway which is guarded by two Tritons wearing intricate, seemingly decorative suits of armor, including headpieces which cover their faces completely. As Ravis steps before the door, the two of them, part and open the door for you, and Ravis enters first, and you hear this booming voice. "Ah, Ravas, you return to us. I can only assume that the trespassers were swiftly executed by your hand, my most esteemed warrior." My lord, actually, the 4 trespassers turned out to be 3 of the 4 heroes of Shalane and a colleague of theirs. So, it's Sir Billingsworth, Lord of Tahwain. Heroes of Shalane, perhaps, but not of our fair city. Not to mention the traitorous successor to our brother, Yovos. Did you dispatch of them, or didn't you? My lord, I've, oh, it's getting hot in here. My lord, I've actually brought them to speak with you, so that's good. And he says, "You've done what?" And he sort of maneuvers around, and as you step into the doorway, and Ravis sort of beckons you forth, you see this grand hall with large oil paintings of Triton leaders past. And the King's Hall is about 30 feet long, and you can see him with his large, bushy gray beard and short gray hair sitting on the throne. I mean, he's just this massive dude. And the throne is bright and deep red. And to his right sits a young, very beautiful Triton woman in a long flowing silk dress. And she's slumped over in her chair and looks quite tired. And as you enter, she sees you and her eyes light up. And she looks to Ravas and smiles. And he returns a smile. How cute. And the king sort of looks at you and he says, very well, if your impudence is such that you could not kill them, I shall look upon them before I do it myself. Come hither, you four. And he beckons you forth.
I approach and I tell the king, sire, no respect. No disrespect. No respect. No respect. No respect. None whatsoever.
No respect.
No disrespect. But you mentioned that we are not the heroes of your city. But in being the heroes of Shalane, I think that we are. Because if we had not dispatched with the Green Hand, then your city would have fallen as well. And perhaps a bit of gratitude is owed.
So this is the new class of heroes of Shalane, The chosen heroes of Solace, standing in front of me demanding respect. You certainly don't look like much, to be honest. And not to mention the man chosen to succeed Yovos. Did you kill him yourself before stealing his seat? Hi, actually. I'm Billingston Billingsworth. You've bestowed upon me quite the disrespect, but it's okay. I am brimming with self-confidence. Actually, what happened was I accidentally infused those two voices for a second. Actually, what took place was your friend, Lord Yovos, was eaten alive by a sea monster. And we dispatched of the monster post-haste, and I installed myself as local leadership so as to maintain balance in the realm. That's basically what happened. I'm Billingston Billingsworth. It's great to make your acquaintance. You look very big. Yeah. And the king is like, eaten alive by a sea monster.
After betraying us to the hand of the Green Hand, I might add.
Yes. So you're telling me Yovos was in with the Green Hand?
It seems like he may have been strong-armed into it. He was not the most willed person.
Yes, I mean, he always was a coward, but had a lot of money. And that sort of gets people places. Regardless, I don't know why I'm talking with you about this. It doesn't matter. The brunt of the issue is that I don't know why you're here, and I want you dead or gone or both. And the princess...
your princess. Yeah, maybe your princess has something to say about that.
And he looks at her and she goes, Father, don't speak to them that way. They saved the island. And he says, I mean, look at them. I bet they're wondering why we didn't help, why we didn't join them in the fight. Surface dwellers ever so clueless. Why are they here, my daughter? And she's like, well, I went to Cilicia. You know, I was gone the other day, and you sent the guard to come find me. I went to Cilicia and asked for help. And he is just, like, seething with rage. He is angry about this. And he's, like, composes himself. And he says, Yovos was a failure. That we can all agree on. All I wanted was somebody to sit on the Council of Five and fight for us to have a seat in local legislation. And then finally we can go about our business on the surface without worrying about being treated like garbage. I just want what's best for my people. And then you're probably again wondering why I didn't send my men to fight with you, even though they're all so strong and wonderful and burly. But I didn't send them to fight with you at the Rift because we had our own problems. You know, I would have done so, but we also weren't asked. And you're not the only people that have been visited by the Green Hand. I hate the Council of Five. I do. But there's not really a lot I can do when my people are threatened on all sides by the Green Hand.
So they visited you? It seems like
between the disconnect between your realm and ours, and also added on the troubles at home. This is why we're here. And I've gotten a lot of implications that the tensions between us as societies, as people, we're really tarnished by something done long ago. I think in part of solving your problem, we can at least start to make amends and start to form a bond between our peoples again.
You seem like good folk. I will tell you my story, but then you will leave. I tell it to you only on the pretense that you will understand that there are plights that the Triton folk deal with, and then you will return to the surface and you will tell the Council of Five that we want a seat at the table. You understand?
I don't feel like that solves your problem, whatever it might be.
About 4 months ago, just as you lot were beginning to turn the tide against the Green Hand, one of them visited us. The Index, I believe he called himself. He came, claiming that he and his associates would create a new world in which we Tritons were more well-respected on the surface. He sounds good to me. Lots of surface dwellers coming down right now, you know, like you guys, telling me that everything's going to be great. Tensions are going to be lifted. I could tell he was lying through his teeth. I'm not so sure about you yet, but I heard him out all the same. He said that all he needed to complete his quest was an item that we in Clockton have held as a sacred object for generations. How he even learned of its existence, I do not know. Who was his master? De Palm, was it? This man never brought him up. I could tell this was not a meeting his master De Palm was aware of. Regardless of his intentions, I had no desire to give him our heirloom, let alone tell him about it. He left in a rage, exclaiming that we would give it up. He summoned a manner of horrific sea beasts into our waters, making it unsafe to swim. We're barely protected by our magical barriers, which are difficult to hold by our mages, by the way. And, you know, he rode one of them to the surface, vanishing before our guard could catch him. Many of my best men were eaten whole by his chiefest summon on their way to stop this man. Those beasts now patrol our waters. Luckily, they cannot bypass all of our magical barriers thanks to enhancements made by our mages, but we've lost the northern sectors of our city entirely. The beasts prowl there now. Ravis, escort them out of the city and back to the surface where they belong, then come right back here. You and I have some words to exchange about your recent behavior. And Ravis starts walking towards you.
I'll step in and I'll say, what's the king's name?
King Dunless III.
King Dunless, you say that you've lost a portion of your city. And while I recognize that you may be a proud people, you should not feel bad asking for help. We've saved the entire island, every single city, one by one, against the wishes of many of the people who were there, not knowing that their city was in dire danger. And you, sir, are fully aware of the danger, and yet you will still not accept our help. Is that not a detriment to your people?
I will not be told how to rule my city. I will find solution to my problem as I always have in my many years of reigning. I respect your intentions and I appreciate them, but we will speak no further on this matter. And he gets up off the chair and walks, and his royal guard join him, and Ravis comes up to you and he's like, I'm sorry, you guys, there's not really anything I can do. But the princess comes up to you, Princess Nethrin, as Ravis said earlier. And she says, my father won't say it, so I will. The object that awful man sought is something which belonged to my great-grandfather, King Dunless I. It is a small, yet gorgeous sapphire encased in a cube of glass. This object is said to be infused with the power of the seas, and grants one power over water. When holding it, supposedly you can command water to move as though it were a part of your body. My great-grandfather used it to conquer the neighboring Triton cities and bring them under his command. Then my grandfather sealed it away in a temple in the northern edge of the city. You know, where the monsters are now? He knew its power, and so too does my father. They may be foolhardy men, but they are aware of the dangers it could cause if it fell into the wrong hands. As you imagine, this Index fellow likely sent his beasts to search high and low for the sapphire in the northern sectors. My father evacuated that part of the city, knowing it would take them some time to find it, but I imagine they're getting close by now. We need to do something. My father will not send any of his troops to resecure those reaches of the city. He has banned entering it. But you're not even supposed to be here anyway, and it's not likely that they're going to come get you when you're there.
Are you suggesting we sneak our way in?
That's basically what I'm saying, yes.
Well, what can you tell us about the monsters there?
They sort of look like Tritons, but if they were ugly, horrible monsters. And they have all manner of weaponry, and they are amphibious like us. They prowl the streets, they swim around. But there are other unspeakable large sea beasts, supposedly, that I have not seen, that prowl those waters too. And Ravas says, this could work. But, Princess, they can't navigate the waters. They can't breathe. And we don't have barriers in that area anymore. And the princess says, I thought of that too. And with that, I think we'll take our first break of the night.
Cliffhanger.
Little cliffhanger to keep you around. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Take this opportunity to stretch your legs, get some water. We'll be right back in a moment with more Speedrunners and Dragons. In the meantime, do me a favor. Do all of us a favor. If you're enjoying what you've seen already tonight, go to youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. I'll put the link in the chat, and subscribe. If everybody in this channel subscribed right now, it would fly. It would fly away. And wouldn't that be ever so wonderful? Campaign 2 starts in 2 weeks. We'll be right back with more Speedrunners and Dragons, more GDQ HOTFIX content right after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Adef, and this is Speedrunners and Dragons. A few quick announcements before we jump into things. SGDQ 2021 online prize submissions are now open. Go to gamesdonequick.com to find out about submitting prizes for the event. And tomorrow, we have Speed Seasons. There will be a Sky Blazer race starting at 1 p.m. Eastern here on the GDQ channel, so don't miss that. But gamers, tonight, right here, this is Speedrunners and Dragons. If you missed the first little bit, I'll catch you up to speed. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition show featuring speedrunning personalities. We are not doing a D&D speedrun, though that may be fun, I don't know. But we're all speedrunners here, and these three boys you see before you are playing in a campaign that I have written. Tonight we're doing sort of like a bonus one-shot episode on top of our first campaign, which finished earlier this year. If you want to check out our stuff, I highly recommend you go to youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. Information on how to get there is actually below me, running in cycle throughout the stream. So if anybody is sort of like, what's going on? You can direct them to the info cards below me that'll show you how you can watch this show live, because Campaign 2 starts on May 18th in 10 days. 10 days is the first episode of Campaign 2, which all three of these boys will be featured in, which is why they're here tonight. And that'll be on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/adef. But then afterwards, all our episodes always go on YouTube, including this one. youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. Subscribe, hit that bell, baby. And subscribing on YouTube is free. I know, internet terminology changes site to site. It's very hard to keep track of. I am sorry. But tonight, we're in the land of Kalocton, which is a city underneath the Shalanian River. And our boys are currently, they just argued with the king of this city, who was like, no, don't go, you can't help me, bye-bye. And that's what happened. And now the princess and one of the royal guards are helping come up with a plan to sneak our boys into the part of the city that's dealing with some monsters. So strap in, get excited, and let's get right back into it. So, boys. The princess, when we left off, said that she thought of something to solve the whole you can't breathe underwater problem, which is an issue. You might agree. And she reaches into her pockets and pulls out 4 bracelets. And each is made of silver, and it clasps around the bottom of one's wrist. It's a bracelet that's sort of like that, you know what I mean? Like it just, you pop it on. and it's like a Fitbit. Like it looks like a Fitbit, I guess. And it appears to have the heads of 2 dolphins on the top part of the bracelet, their tails wrapping below to create the clasp. And Rava says, "You're not supposed to have those." And the princess says, "Add it to the list of things I'm not supposed to be doing right now." And she hands one to each of you, to the 3 of you and Billingsworth, who's joined in tonight. And she says, "These will allow you to walk on the water's floor as if it were not water. It is a very magical object crafted hundreds of years ago by our ancestors. It'll allow you to breathe in the water as well, like one of us. Your weapons will still behave as though they are in water, though, so do take that into account. And when you take it off, you'll be able to swim like normal. It's instant. Put it on, you fall through water as if it were air. Take it off, you can swim. But you can't breathe if it's off, just so you know. They were created in the early days of our civilization in order to have diplomatic conversations with surface dwellers before those relationships turned a little bit nasty. Head north through the main gate at the edge of the citadel, and the northern sectors are lower than the main city. You can't miss it. The sapphire is held within the top room of the tallest tower at the center of the northern sector. You can't miss it. The barriers which are keeping the monsters out of that building are the same ones keeping the air breathable here. You should be able to get in there. With these bracelets on, you should have no issue getting inside. Neither Ravas nor I can be seen taking you to the gate. You carry the weight of our city with you. Good luck."
Will any of your father's guards catch us on the way up there?
I don't think so. Ravas and I will distract them. Ravas, what should we do? And he's like, make out? And she's like, what? And he's like, nothing. He's like, nothing, I didn't say anything. And she's like, okay. And he's like, I'll just go call them into the main sector of the city. Stupid. And he just like walks away moping a little bit. And she's like, I think he likes me. And then she like runs away behind him. So yeah, you boys are sort of on your own now. And Billingston is like, I'm Billingsworth. I think those two have a crush on each other, and I don't think it's a big secret.
I agree, Billingsworth.
Oh, he's doing it again, the thing where he just talks like me. It's so funny. I don't understand accents, that sort of thing is way out of my wheelhouse. And so, yeah, you're sort of left to your own devices. Oh, Kitten. You just held Kitten like it was a block. Like she was a block.
She didn't like you very much.
She's gone. Yes, go ahead, Caius.
Well, Billingsworth, and I'll extend this to the rest of the party as well. Do you also agree that we should make for any sort of preparedness before we set off?
Billingston is like, I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to be here very long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be best if we get out of the range of the guards that aren't very happy with our presence.
Then straight north we go.
And you hear some big noise at this town center, and guards start rushing towards it. So clearly some kind of diversion has taken place.
Perfect. That's our cue, friends.
Let's go quickly.
I snap on my bracelet and I head out.
So at the northern gate, which is pretty easy to find, like she said, it's like this big crest at the northern edge of the city at the wall, right where the magical bubble ends. You can visibly see the edge of the magic bubble holding the monsters at bay and the air within the city limits. Beyond the shimmering film of this bubble lay an abandoned-looking, low-lying version of the buildings and neighborhoods you've seen thus far. You have to look down to see it, as there is a long descending staircase leading to the main gate of this northern sector, much like the one you descended to enter the water in the first place. The houses and shops stretch along a main road with several off-splitting side roads of a central fortress, which must be the thing that Nethrin was talking about. It appears to be a circular wall surrounding a main building with a tall central tower. But yeah, it's sort of like this main road leads up to it, directly straight north from the stairs you're on the precipice of now, and there's a bunch of splitting off roads off of that main street.
Do we see any living creatures on the way visibly?
You can see, if you look at like far down the staircase, it's hard because like the water is in the way and it clouds a little bit, but you feel like you see some moving figures on the streets.
All right. Well, I'm headed down. I'm looking to stamp out whatever remains of the green hand in this realm.
I'll be following
Aye.
behind Lucius.
So as you descend the stairs, the moment you step through the bubble, it's like, whoa, and you like with the bracelets on, you know, you're trying not to breathe. You don't want to breathe. You don't want to breathe. And air fills your lungs. And you're walking through water as if it were nothing. And you're able to descend the stairs. It's very surreal. You know, fish go past you and water is all around you, but it's as if you're walking on land. It's pretty incredible.
I just out of curiosity, I like look at my wrist and I like just slowly pick it up until I feel something.
The moment it is like not fully around your wrist anymore, so when it's off, you don't float because you're in very heavy armor. But you do like feel it weighing you down and you're definitely in water again and you can't breathe.
Okay.
Or you shouldn't breathe.
I slapped that baby back on. I was just curious.
And you're perfectly fine again. And you can speak to each other as if, you know, nothing were different. Okay. But if one of you slips it off, that person can't communicate any more than what you can communicate underwater. And I'm sure you all as children, I don't know, I did. I tried to talk to my friends underwater, like at the pool. That is the extent of your communication underwater when you don't have it on.
After my little experiment, I say, friends, take care to not let this leave your wrist. That was an unpleasant experience with the weight of all this water.
Yeah, your eardrums were like that big of a pressure differential instantly. By all rights, your ears should have blown out, but I'm a nice DM, so that didn't happen.
Thanks, Mr. DM.
All of Bernoulli's principles wanted to kill you there, but he doesn't exist in this world, so it's okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Thank goodness. So yeah, you're able to easily make it to the bottom of the stairs, and now you can sort of see this long stretch of main road up to this central gate, and you do see like figures in the distance swimming above, very like shadowy, shady figures with tails and tridents.
Is it dark down here?
Yes, but I believe, how many of you have dark vision?
I do.
I do.
Not I.
Okay, well the two of you can see pretty clearly up to what, like 120 feet or whatever it is?
If it's dim, it might as well be bright light for us.
Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
But, you know, things are shaded interestingly as the light occludes in different ways underwater because, as my degree will tell you, the optical interference is different because this is not air. So there's a lot of refraction going on. The implicit, the way the material is, it's different.
You can tell that it's water because of the way that it is.
You can tell it's an aspen by the way that it is.
Isn't that neat?
Isn't that neat? Nature's neat. We're on a nature walk. So yes, a gouger, you can see relatively okay. It's as if you were at the bottom of a pretty clear river, but not like totally clear.
Okay.
As if.
No experience with that?
A pretty clear but not totally clear river.
Yeah, I don't know how I can make it any more obvious.
Yeah.
Index of refraction, that was the word I was looking for earlier. Water has a higher index of refraction than air. That's what I was trying to say.
There you go.
Okay, so what's your plan, boys? You got to get to this central tower. How you do it is your business.
I have no problems. I'm feeling great. I feel confident.
Still very confident. Yeah.
Of course. I'm perfectly happy to just stroll right down the main boulevard until we meet resistance.
Boys, other thoughts?
I'm kind of curious. This place is abandoned and kind of disheveled, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to dip into some alleyways and see if I can find anything.
I think I'm gonna follow closely behind Lucius because, you know, as Pally bros, can't leave each other's side.
Yeah, I choose to be kind of skittery and in between alleys, but try and keep my pace as best as I can. If that's
Billingston is going to join you, Gouger.
okay.
So it's not a true split, but you are splitting a little bit. So Lucius and Caius, let's start with you guys. You're walking down the street just the other day, and so you're walking down the street, and you roll perception, both of you.
17.
Caius,
12.
okay. So Lucius, you catch glimpse of something in an alleyway to your left after you've walked maybe 50 feet. You catch glimpse of something move.
I put my hand out to stop Caius from moving, and I draw my longsword and note that it's feeling quite sluggish in the water. But I point in that direction.
Do I see anything out of the norm now focusing? Like,
You stopped just before the alley, but you do sense some kind of presence in the alleyway.
Do I still have disadvantage on stealth in the water?
No. Because sound travels differently in water, and sounds do not reverberate as well.
Cool. Yeah, for anyone watching.
Well, they reverberate fine, but they aren't very amplified.
Yeah. A big detriment to my character is that I have very loud, clanky armor on. So anytime I needed to be stealthy, I was at a severe disadvantage. But maybe now I don't have to be. So I'd like to approach where I saw something move as quietly as I can.
Roll stealth.
All right. 12.
You were able to, with ease, make it to the alley in some way, like maybe peeking around the corner or something.
Okay. Do I see anything?
You see one of these creatures that Princess Nethrin described. They're very like gremlin-y. They've got flowing red hair that's in strands, and they've got like sharp lizard-like faces and long spiny tails, and they're holding these like very green, off-looking tridents that look rusty and old. And one of them is walking, like sauntering away from you like this, very slowly. And there's another that swims past on a different cross street. The next cross street over, you see one swim past. And so clearly they're sort of prowling the alleys a little bit.
I whisper to Caius that maybe it's best if we hug the wall as we're walking down this main street, so as not to be quite so obvious, considering there seem to be a lot of them around.
Sure. So I'll catch up with Lucius and just kind of stick to that wall. Is there any way that I can relay that information to the other members of our party before doing that? Like, how far away are they?
Yeah, I think it's understandable to assume that Gouger and Billingston are just ducking out maybe into the first alley on your left. Mm-hmm. Would that be like sort of what you might do, Gouger? It's up to you.
I think so. Yep.
So, you're probably too far maybe to converse.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to yell, but if there's some way you can signal to them, you can do that.
I'm not Gouger. Yeah, I'll just link it to the alleyway that Lucius was in and just like regroup that way.
Sure. Let's pop to Gouger and Billingston. So Gouger, you're on the side of this like 2-story house. And it's just rows and rows of these shops and houses with a bunch of, cross streets every 2 or 3 buildings, all the way up. And then, the city expands westward from there. But it's the same on the other side as well.
Right. And we're kind of just like slinking along the alleyway, kind of in the same direction still, but just getting a different perspective. Do we see anything? So
the alley you're currently in is heading east-west, okay, along the wall of this building with the grand wall of the city you were just in behind you. And roll perception.
Hold on. Do I have bonus on perception? I don't think so. 15.
Billingston got a nat 20.
Oh, let's go,
First nat 20 of the night.
Nice.
He grabs you.
Billingston Billingsworth.
Gouger, my companion, hold tight. And he like picks you up and holds you. And you're just like, your feet are dangling.
Yeah.
And he's like, look. And you turn your eyes and you see this lizard-like thing swim quickly to the wall and then swim back. And you see another one sort of walking far along the wall on the southern edge. And he's like, perhaps we shouldn't go this way.
I think you might be right.
And so he sort of plops you down. And he's like, what's our game plan?
Do we go back to the main street?
I don't know. You seemed pretty excited about getting some stuff.
I wanted to see if I could find anything.
Okay, well, I like that. How do we make that happen?
Do we go around? Is there a way around this instead of going directly through it?
We can try.
Let's try.
Roll stealth.
27.
Okay, well, Billingston crit wand. He nat wand.
How do you do that, Billingston? No, please.
He's like, all right. And he starts sprinting. And then he hits a lip. He hits like a lip and he reaches down his left hand to catch it. And there's like a piece of seaweed and it goes under the bracelet and takes it off. And he begins to float up towards the top of the building. And he's like grasping for the bracelet.
I try and like rush to it as fast as I can and like, I guess, toss it upwards to him.
Yeah, you can throw it up and it just, spins up in the water and he catches it and slaps it back on. But he slaps it back on and he's halfway up and he falls all the way back down and hits the ground. He's like, oh, I'm Billingsworth. That hurt a lot. I'm in pain. And he takes 2 points of damage.
Oh, Billingston.
But he gets up and he's like, but did you see what I just accidentally did?
I sure did.
I think we can get up on the tops of buildings this way.
It's actually not a bad idea.
I know, it's why I said it. And he takes it off and he swims to the top of the house without the bracelet on and like gets on top and then puts it back on.
I follow and do the same.
So you're on top of the houses now, and you just see more of what you saw at the top of the stairs, just rows and rows of like houses and buildings, and they're like chimneys and holes in some of the roofs that you can maybe sneak into.
Very interested in that. Is there any building that, in particular, along the road that we're traveling, catches my eye or anything?
Yeah, there's one with like this really nice ornate rooftop. It's got like cool embellishments of like dolphins and fish on the rows of the tile work on the roof, and there is a hole in the top of it. And Billingston is going to re-roll stealth.
Okay. Probably for the best.
Marginally better.
Oh, well.
So he's like, I'm going to, you do your thing for a bit, I'll catch up.
Yeah, I think that's for the best. Then I will traverse to that rooftop and then take a little peek inside.
So you make it to this rooftop and you're able to like slip inside. Are you wearing the bracelet or not?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you can like drop down into the upper level of this house and you drop into this really nice living room in the top of this like clearly like aristocrat's house. There are nice lounges and chairs and oil paintings of Triton's past.
Mm-hmm. Is there any sort of containers or anything within the room?
Roll investigation.
Okay.
And while he does that, I'll just remind everybody what's going on here. This is Speedrunners and Dragons, a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons campaign, but this is a one-shot bonus episode from our first campaign that we're running for you tonight. This is all original new stuff. But campaign 2 of our show starts on May 18th. If you want to see it live, follow twitch.tv/adef. But if you want to catch up on campaign 1 and see new stuff when it gets uploaded to YouTube, which every episode eventually does, you go to youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. There are info cards below me. You can also type !S_D, or if a mod would be so kind as to do so when they hear this, that would be amazing. And you can subscribe to our YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, you might already be here, or you might be on the GDQ channel. Either way, subscribe to our YouTube, youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. We're looking to hit 1,000 subs soon. That would be sick. If everyone here subscribed to the YouTube, we could do it like literally right now, which would be pretty gnarly.
Right this second.
Wouldn't that be wild? Mm-hmm. Anyway, what was your role, my friend?
12.
Excellent. Okay. There are doorways around, and I saw somebody in chat did ask if there were chimneys, and Danny answered in chat. But for those on YouTube after the fact, there used to be an air bubble here. This used to be a protected like area. So there are doors on the left and right of sort of this main chimney, this main like smokestack thing, a fireplace, I guess they call it, and that's really the only notable thing you can see.
If I peek into the left doorway, what do I see?
It's locked.
Locked. All right. Well, I'm going to try my best to undo that.
Sure.
Because I have my lockpicks with me. Does a 18 bust it? Actually,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
Gloves of Thievery is +5, so it would be 23.
Yeah, you're in.
Okay.
It's like water.
Yeah.
You're in and you push the door open, and the objects you physicalize, the objects you interact with are in water. So it's hard to push this open because you're displacing a lot of water.
Yes.
But you are able to open it, and you are in this like bedroom, and there's a very nice bed in the middle of the room, and that's all you can see right now.
Right. So just a nice bed in the middle of the room. If I like go around to the side of the bed, like opposite the wall or something, anything over there?
There's nothing. It's up against the wall.
Okay. What about underneath?
Underneath the bed, you look down and you try to pull up the wet comforter that's sort of, already drifting up into the water on its own. And there's a like some kind of wooden thing underneath the bed.
Can I pick it up?
Well, it's quite large. It almost reaches the bottom of the bed frame.
Okay. Is it possible to maybe pull it out from underneath the bed then?
You would have to lift the bed.
Okay. Would that be easy underwater? Can I roll something?
I think it wouldn't be too bad. Roll strength.
Okay. 17.
Yes, you're able to like hoist the bed up and pull this chest out from underneath. And before you open it, we're going to cut back to the other boys.
Sure.
Lucius and Caius, my boys. The two of you are in this, you're hugging the wall going down the main street, right? Lucius, you unmuted. You saw. You got yourself. So, is there anything in particular you want to do while you're doing this, or you just want to hug this left wall? Sure. You already rolled stealth, right?
Yeah.
Did Caius? Caius, did you roll yet?
I don't think I did.
All right, roll stealth.
Grab it. 14?
Whew, by the skin of your teeth.
Okay.
You're both able to sort of, sidle, to steal Wind Waker's words. You're both able to sidle along this left wall. And every alleyway you peek, and one of those lizard folk is either walking to or fro, and you're like, and you're able to see jump alley to alley along this main street. It wasn't muted on street. Okay, we're good. Muted at Lucius. Both of you roll perception.
Nice little 4.
You got a 2. As the two of you are walking, after like the 15th or 16th alleyway, you're more than halfway to this wall around this fortress. You hear some swimming behind you and some gargling, like, and then you turn around, and there's like 5 of these guys that are swimming down towards you.
Oh, like they see us, and they're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they're like 100 feet away.
All right. Can I run faster than they can swim?
You want to find out?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. And by the way, you look down and you've tripped something. There was some kind of like wire stretched across the main street, and you look down, and Lucius, you were walking in front, and neither of you noticed it, but you had tripped this wire, and it like you're looking down, and there are these contraptions like all the way down, and it leads all the way back, and it somehow triggered something, and they are now coming after you, and
Well, that's not good.
you may dash. So what's your dash speed, Lucius and Caius?
60.
Yeah.
I don't want to do kinematics right now.
ADF takes his physics calculations very seriously in D&D.
They will reach you eventually. How
Got
long
it.
exactly that takes, I don't really want to do that math right now.
At best, I'm looking to fight with something solid to my back.
Yeah, I think that can happen.
Okay.
Their swim speed is... Oh, actually, their swim speed's a lot slower than I thought it was. Never mind. They do not reach you. I thought it was 100 feet, but it's not. I do not have to do kinematics. I know they won't reach you.
Perfect.
But dashing, you're able to make it to the wall relatively quickly, but now several of them have amassed and are now swimming towards you. And we
The
cut
wall-
back to Gouger and
okay.
Billingston.
The wall
You
being
made it
the
to the
circle.
wall.
Okay.
And there's a magical air bubble just around it, like an inch off of it. So they can't penetrate that, but you potentially could. But it's just a solid wall,
Cool.
and it's like 30 feet high. So Gouger, roll lockpicking for me. Sleight of hand.
20.
Yes, you're able to open this thing, and as you open it, a quiver, air rushes, or water rushes into it, and a quiver starts to like raise out of the water, and it has like 20 or 30. It has 30. I'm not going to say a number that it might be. The number that it is 30. It has 30 of these like blue-tipped arrows that you had been hit with in the previous encounter.
I grab it.
Excellent. I can tell you what it does in a second.
May I test it?
Sure.
Assuming that there is nobody around, I am very curious about these arrows, so I just aim kind of at the wall and fire one and see what happens.
So you draw your bow, and as you loose it, the arrow tip lights into blue, like it lights up a brighter blue, and as it goes through the water, it leaves a trail of ice. And it slows down because arrows don't really go through water very great, so it doesn't even reach the wall before it just falls down because the water is so much more viscous than air. But there is a trail of, like, a parabolic trail of ice that follows behind.
Very cool. Well, then I retrieve that arrow and using the removal of the bracelet technique, I guess, to come back through the hole in the ceiling in the main room again.
Okay. And Billingston is running across the rooftops and jumping from rooftop to rooftop. And he's like, Gouger, problems at the wall!
I turn to look at them. I'm like, yep, let's go.
And so you're both just like jumping from rooftop to rooftop. You can pull the bracelet, swim over one, drop it back on, or just jump it. The gaps are only like 4 or 5 feet until the alleys, and then they're, a little more substantial. But you're, boom, 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 boom. And you're catching up, and you pass this wall of these monsters. And they look up at you, and one of them throws a trident at you, Gouger.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit you?
Nope.
Okay, it goes through the water just past your head. Billingston's like, oh my god! And he's like, Gouger, shoot them, shoot them!
I don't know if my arrows will work in this water. I don't.
He's like,
It might not be
that's
worth
such
it.
a good point, I didn't think of that. And he jumps down, and he, attempts and fails to he wants to grab onto one and like stab it and move it around. But instead he misses and he's falling to the street quickly. So he takes the bracelet off very quickly and falls slowly to the ground, slaps it back on and runs. And now they're literally right behind him.
Oh, goodness. And I'm still on the roofs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I keep running on the roofs in that direction? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going to do then.
Lucius and Caius, you are at the wall. You see Gouger and Billingston now in tow, just ahead of these fish things. You're at the wall.
I noticed, or can I say that I noticed Billingston
Absolutely.
manipulating his bracelet in a pretty clever way?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'd like to catch on to that and see if I can float up to the top of the wall.
You can.
Cool. And I'm just gonna sit up there and ready a javelin, perhaps, because I noticed the trident seemed to work pretty well.
Okay. So you're at the top of the wall, and Caius, you see this. He's able to make it to the top of the wall quite effortlessly in this way, just swimming to the top and then putting the bracelet back on.
Let's see. I feel like I want to like follow him, but if we're gonna be confronted by these things anyway, if Lucius, do you probably want to help, maybe like cause a diversion or like snipe one of these fools?
Yeah. How far away are they?
They're 100 feet away and closing.
Okay. I will wait for them to come a little bit closer, and then I'll chuck a javelin at whoever's at the lead.
Yeah, you know, then I'll stay where I am, and I'll actually ready a shield along with one of my other javelins as well from the ground floor.
Sure. Lucius, also, you do note that on the wall is where this air bubble is, so you actually can traverse back and forth through it.
That's good to know.
So that is of note. And so Lucius got to the wall by removing his bracelet, swimming up there, and then putting it back on to re-physicalize as if he were in the air. So Billingston and Gouger, you're really booking it across these rooftops, and him on the street. He's like, right behind him. He takes his axe and cuts one's head off that gets too close to him. And he's just like booking it. The blood starts to trail upwards from the spot where he decapitated this thing, this like purpley blood. And you're about to make it to the wall, and one of these things swims out from an alley adjacent to the wall. So clearly it was further north. So it's coming from behind, and it comes and it tries to get to Lucius, and it hits the air bubble, and it can't like breach it, and it tries to stab through it, and it's like screaming at you. Now it just can't fucking. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna do an F tonight. I just did one. It can't get through the like magical barrier to you.
Well, that's good to know. I would like to take my javelin, shove it straight through this guy's chest so that he stays a little bit far away from me while I lean into the water with my bracelet on and yell to my friends that they can't cross the air.
And you push it out, and it goes limp and starts to float on the water off your, you maybe pull it back in, and all three of you, which is Billingston, Caius, and Gouger, you hear this.
All right.
So my attention will be called up there, and upon like knowing this, them being not being able to penetrate the air bubbles, I'll take my bracelet off and like maneuver in the same fashion that Lucius did up to that wall, and I'll meet him there as well.
Excellent, you're able to do so. And Gouger, what's your play?
We're kind of still en route, running towards it.
Yes.
Okay. If possible, then I guess I take like a running jump, and as I'm using the jump, I kind of remove the bracelet to see if I can get a little bit of momentum to kind of float up that way.
Absolutely. You're running, you jump, take the bracelet off, and you fly up through the water. Your initial vector of trajectory just like really taking you, and you're
for
in this
a moment.
big...
Yeah, for a moment I've like filled with this sense of euphoria, this feeling of flight, even though it is water.
Swimming is flying through water.
Exactly.
My fluid mechanics teacher once said to me, birds are just swimming through the air. And I was like, What? It's true. Flight is just swimming, but through a very less dense material, or less viscous and less dense. Anyway, you are able to fly, and you're coming towards the wall, and you're just about to hit the air bubble.
All right. Do I go through? Well, then I put it back on, I suppose.
Yeah, and the moment you put it back on, you're able to cross through, and you fall down to the wall, and you're okay. Billingston is booking it. He's just behind you. He jumps, yanks off his bracelet, and is going up towards the wall. And then he grabs it with one hand, hoists himself up easily because it's underwater, and then puts the bracelet on and falls over the other edge and lands superhero pose on the other side of the wall. So he's like knee down, fist on the ground, and he's like, oh, that was really painful. But you're all across the thing, and now just a bombardment of these sea creatures hit the wall. You know, gnashing their teeth, hitting the thing, and they can't come through.
I would like to just go up to their face and taunt them a little bit.
They don't like that. They're not a fan of that.
Everyone
but now,
disliked that.
Everyone disliked that. Many people are typing. But there is now 30 feet of air between you and the ground, which Billingston so nobly just fell.
Poor Billingston. Now, is this bubble like a cylinder column, or is it... Okay.
Yeah, and it encompasses the whole tower.
Is there any way down besides jumping that I can see, like, along the edge of the wall?
About 50 feet to your right and 50 feet to your left, there appear to be some kind of, like, archer's sniper staircase that would take people up into the ramparts to shoot from, like, crenellations or something.
Gotcha. Well, I'll head to one of those and head down to join Billingston.
Sure, and he's like, I didn't see the stairs. I also didn't intentionally fall, just to be clear. And you're all down, and now you look up at this, expansive tower. Also, Gouger, I might as well tell you what the arrows do. Would you rather me type it to you in the break or tell you now?
Tell me now.
Okay. Ice arrows. So you must choose to use this as opposed to your normal arrows, and you have a finite stock, as you know. It adds 2d6 cold damage, and then the target must make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw or be frozen until end of their next turn.
Nice.
So
like
2d6 cold damage and DC 16 Constitution saving throw basically is what you need to know.
Cool.
You can also, if you like shoot them at water, as you saw, you can create like cubes of ice, sections of ice where that water is.
Cool.
So going back down to where I was a moment ago. Okay, so you're now at the base of this really tall cylindrical tower, which is clearly the one the princess was talking about. And it's this blue stone like the rest of the architecture, but it's very old and very, very impressive. And there's a main central doorway.
Is it open?
No. There's a big door with what do I have here? There's a big door with like an emblem of a sapphire in the center and blue light, or rather like similar motifs and reliefs to the ones you saw in the ground when Ravas placed his trident in it at the beginning, is those kinds of lines on the door emanating from the center.
If I do like a quick perimeter of the tower, do I find anything else?
There's no other entrances, and the nearest window is very far up.
Does this door have a handle, a lock? What's up?
Not really. Roll investigation.
Okay.
All of us?
Sure. I'll say Gouger, you're probably still doing the perimeter.
Sure.
So I'll say the other three. Or Billingston probably would have joined you. So Caius and Lucius.
I rolled an 11.
Caius?
I rolled a 6.
Okay. Lucius, running your hand along the door. And nothing really seems off or anything, but you can't really see any way you might push it or whatever, or trigger the mechanism or what have you. But it does feel like maybe some magic is emanating from the door.
What's it made of?
Similar stone to that which is makes up the building.
Gotcha. It's just one solid slab?
Well, no. Oh, for a second I thought you meant the building, and I was like, no.
The door. Like, is there two doors that meet in the middle, or?
It's two doors that meet in the middle.
Gotcha.
And they meet at this like emblematic sapphire thing, and there are two dolphins at the emblem in the center.
Okay. I'm gonna try to shoulder check the door.
Which side of your body?
I'm wondering why that matters. Let's go with my non-dominant arm.
Okay. Just a question out of curiosity. Which part of your body do you typically put bracelets on?
I usually put bracelets on my non-dominant hand.
Well, hey, what you know. You shoulder check the door and your wrist comes in contact with it, and you feel some kind of emanence from the bracelet and the door, but nothing happens.
Oh, well, that's good information. I look down quizzically at my wrist because I felt some weird tingling. I hold it up to the picture of the sapphire, and I just like put it a little bit closer, staring at it weirdly.
It begins to like resonate.
We're in air now, right?
Hey, what are you doing? Lucius.
This feels weird. You should come here and try this. I take it off and I like put it up to the thing, like just holding it in my hand.
Sure, I'll follow his lead.
As you press them into the emblem in the center, blue light emanates through the lines, and the door opens up wide.
Easy.
What was that sound?
Oh yeah, Billingston's like, well, it sounded to me, Billingsworth, as though the door has opened.
I suppose we should go Billingsworth and investigate.
Oh, jolly good, yes.
Let us go.
So you go to the front, and the door is indeed open, and Lucius and Kai stand there, and Lucius, I'm sure, is grinning ear to ear.
I'm excited I finally solved the puzzle.
So after you enter through the front door and walk inside, the door, classically in ADEF style, shuts behind you. It's just the easiest way to keep you inside a room, just to give you a little peek behind the scenes. Suddenly, you feel the air fully pressurized, and now it's not like a magic air, it's just air, like, in the room. You know what I mean? Like, this is fully not magical. The tower, this part is clearly sealed off somehow. And looking around you, the floor plan seems oddly open, and this first floor of the tower that you're on has like no discernible features other than tile artwork on the ground in the center of the room, and there's a stone tablet just past that. And there are 8 torches around the room, and they're all equidistant in like a circle because the thing is cylindrical, and they're all lit around the molding of the room, and there's like some kind of lens in front of each of them, and there are levers just below each lens. And before I give you the finer details, I think we'll jump to our second and last break of the evening. So gamers, stick around. We're going to take a very short break. Get up, walk around, get some water. Join us back when our boys will tackle a real ADEF puzzle. They're impossible to...
Wow, my puzzle wasn't real?
Okay, well, I don't want to say anything mean, but... a real ADEF puzzle. They're often way too complex and have too many intricate moving pieces. So we'll see if it's actually good. But I've made some graphics, so hopefully they help. But with that, gamers, please stick around. We'll have more Speedrunners and Dragons, more GDQ HOTFIX right after this. In the break, please do go to youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons and subscribe, or get ready for our first live show for Campaign 2, which is May 18th, by going to twitch.tv/ADEF and dropping a follow. Also, while you're at it, follow these boys. Twitch.tv/Dangers, twitch.tv/theblacktastic, twitch.tv/DannyB. They're wonderful. It looks like we already cut to a break, and we're back. Sorry, Tech. I didn't mean to sound like I was queuing in and queuing out. But yeah, I'll post links to that in the chat as well. But we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the GDQ HOTFIX. My name is Adef, and this is Speedrunners and Dragons, a one-shot adventure from, it's like a bonus episode on top of our first campaign, which finished earlier this year. You can check out our first campaign at youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. Just a few quick announcements before we get back into things here. Let me just pull them up. I'm pulling them up. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to support live GDQ content, please consider checking out our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/GDQ. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, I don't know if you know this, you can subscribe to any Twitch channel of your choice every month for free. If you don't use it, it literally goes to waste, and Jeff Bezos takes $5. So subscribe. Please consider using your Prime Gaming account to subscribe to the GDQ Twitch channel. Spend your Jeffy dollars, your Bezos bucks. Spend them. And tomorrow on the GDQ HOTFIX at 1 p.m. Eastern will be a Sky Blazers race on the Speed Seasons show. So be sure to check in for that. Gamers, welcome back, boys. We are in the midst, on the brink, actually, of a puzzle. I've just ordered food, so at some point I'm going to get a phone call of some man telling me my food has arrived, and I'll promptly text my roommate to go get it for me, and we'll continue running this puzzle. Sound good, everybody?
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Let's go.
So, I have some stuff made, some visuals made for these puzzles. So, exciting. I can try to share that in Discord, actually. Pay no attention. Pay absolutely no attention to, like, the stuff on the right side. Just look at the image in the center, okay? And people on stream should be seeing it somewhere right about now as well, hopefully. So, you're in this room, right? Very big open room, and there is this motif of a moon in the center of the room. There's really no other artwork or anything around. That's it. And what else? Sorry, this is the overwhelming part. So there are levers below each of these torches. And there's a lens in front of each of the torches, like an individual lens in front of each on this like ring of lenses. And there is currently one lens open, and there is a torch shining light through it, and it is fully illuminating the moon. So it looks like a full moon, basically. And the other lenses appear to be closed, so there's no light going through. Lots of light movement and optical vectors in tonight's episode. And there's a tablet on the other side of the moon, and you would go up and talk to it, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, "I rise when I'm freshly born." And everybody roll investigate, or perception, actually, please.
17 for me. Sorry, did you say perception or investigation?
Perception.
17.
That'll do it. Looking up above the moon, there is like a hole in the ground. In the floor above you, the same shape as the moon, basically.
And the moon is flat to the ground?
Yes. And the light is currently illuminating through the lens and fully illuminating it. And it says, "I rise when I'm freshly born" on the tablet.
Okay. Well, a new moon is one that is completely unlit from the Earth's perspective, yes?
Correct.
So perhaps we pull the lever of the one open thing and see what happens?
So, approaching the lever beneath the torch that is currently pushing light through an open lens, the lens shuts.
When I approach it?
When you pull it, if you pull it. And also there's a label on this lever, and it says 0.
Okay.
I go across the room to the one directly on the opposite side, and I pull the lever.
Great. So this lens reads pi. There is a Greek symbol pi there. And as you pull the lever, that lens opens, and the light that is cast is very dim. It like just barely, so the moon was dark, but then when you pull this lever, it illuminates it just slightly, almost like a satin layer over the moon, and you hear, and the ground begins to shake. And the moon starts to slowly rise up from the ground. Whether or not you are on it.
How high does it go?
It just keeps going. And it's
Oh.
leaving a hole in the ground.
Should we get on?
Billingston's already there. He's running and he grabs hold and hoists himself up.
Okay. Well,
I do the same.
Yeah, I'm running.
Yeah.
You're all able to
around.
catch it, and you're hoisting yourselves up, and it just like magically is spinning up into the air, and it lands on the second floor. Welcome to floor 2, which I will now display for you. So, floor number 2 is interesting. You basically have when the moon latches into place, this ring of lenses that you had on the previous floor. This time there is just one lens and it's open. And when the moon locks into place, that disc of or ringlet of lenses, or in this case just one lens, begins to rotate slowly. And it's going from torch to torch to torch, but all the torches are unlit. And again, there is a switch or a lever that can be thrown beneath each torch. And there is another tablet, and it reads, "I rise only for the color of the ocean."
All right. Do these torches have labels?
Yes, they are similarly labeled in fact, identically labeled to the ones from the previous floor. So the one on your right, which is where you would have entered from on the floor below, is labeled 0. And then the one just northeast of that is pi over 4, then pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, pi, 5 pi over 4, 3 pi over 2, 7 pi over 4, and 0 again.
Okay.
And again, the tablet reads, "I rise only for the color of the ocean." And this lens is just rotating slowly around each torch, or hitting each torch, once in each rotation.
Gotcha. So, I mean, the color of the ocean is blue. There, you said no torches are lit?
Correct.
I would like to light the 0 torch just to see what happens.
Okay. So you light the 0 torch, and
I'm assuming that's what the what the lever does.
red leather, yellow leather.
Yeah, that's the one.
When the ring passes in front of it, the moon in the center lights up full and then dims again, and then it rotates again, and the second time it hits it, it locks into place, and the floor begins to move upwards again.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
It doesn't really wait for anyone.
Well, I'm hopping on. I'm not sure what I did, but I'm running to it.
Oh, I thought you did solve it. That is the solution.
Okay.
What did you think it was?
Well, I don't know what that has to do with the color blue.
Oh, I guess I should light the 0 one, because that's what you did. Would you like to know?
Sure.
Blue moons are when you have 2 full moons in 1 month.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, so if a ring's rotation is a full set of cycles of the moon, doing it twice is a blue moon.
Neat.
Oh.
Don't worry,
It's
the
all
next
right.
one's hard.
I'm getting on that moon.
Welcome to floor 3. Okay, so the third floor. You rise, and this time you rise into not the center of the room, but like a focus of the room. So if the room is an ellipse, so it's not exactly circular, it's like an ellipse, you rise into one of the foci, one of the focuses of the room. And above you, there is a smaller version of the previous spinning ring. and there are magical floating lights, not torches this time, still represented as torches in the image, but they're just floating balls of light. And there is one ring above you, and all of those are lit, but all the lenses are closed. And there's a small latch you can flip beneath each lens to open or close it. And then opposite you, in the other focus of the room, is an image of the Earth, or, you know, it's not literally Earth because that's not where this takes place, but you know what I mean. It's an image of the planet on which Shalane resides, but from above. And there is another small identical ring and more, 8 already lit, and they're both rotating. Or actually, they're still, and there's a lever in the center of the room you can throw to make them rotate one full rotation.
In these, what exactly is rotating?
So it'd again be the ring of lenses rotating, just like on floor 2.
Gotcha, but there's all 8 lenses here.
Yeah, they're just all closed right now.
I see.
And there's a tablet, and the tablet reads, "The path continues only when we dance our monthly dance."
Okay.
I see that a lot of people have just jumped in. So while they think about this, they're doing a puzzle right now. This is Speedrunners and Dragons, a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And these 3 you see before you, all 4 of us were speedrunners. And this is a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I DM and write and run. And they are players, amazing, really excellent players and speedrunners. And we finished campaign 1 earlier this year, and this is a one-shot episode to show all of you what we're all about. And it is taking place just after the events of Campaign 1. But if you're interested in watching Campaign 1, catching up what we're all about, go to youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. You can type !S&D in the chat to sort of go to our YouTube channel. Please consider subscribing and checking out our content. But our first episode of Campaign 2, with more players, these 3 are returning, and 3 more players, Kung Fu Fruit Cup, Fant, and DGR Dave will be joining us. Those 6 will be embarking on my Campaign 2, which is on May 18th, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/adef. So get excited for Campaign 2. Go catch up on Campaign 1. There's like literally 40 hours of Speedrunners and Dragons content at your disposal, and there's only more coming. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this one-shot, though, and see what we're all about. They're currently on the 3rd floor of an intricate set of puzzles having to do with heavenly bodies. So what are your thoughts?
So, my thought is that the moon is lit by the reflection of light from Earth. So I would like to light the torch of the moon's ring that is, like, right in between it and the Earth.
Okay. So the torch is that you're just opening the lens for what it's worth.
Yes, I want to open that one.
So that is 7 pi over 4, which is that one. I labeled them so conveniently for myself. Okay, so that lens opens. Yeah, I mean, the lens things are still in place. There's a lever you have to throw if you want them to rotate.
Yeah, I would like to open that lever and see if the torch rotates along with the lens.
So just the lens rings rotate.
Okay, so the torches stay still.
Yes. And so now the moon is cycling through its phases. You have started it at waning crescent. And then, or no, you started it at, if we continue the convention from below, you started it at waxing gibbous, and then it hits full, and then waning gibbous, 3rd quarter, waning crescent, new, waxing crescent, 1st quarter, and then back to where you have it, and then it stops. The Earth lenses also rotate, but the Earth does not light in any way, shape, or form. And then they both stop in place.
Gotcha. Are they rotating at the same speed?
Yes.
This is a tricky one.
Yes, this is probably one of the hardest puzzles I've given you. I would say it's probably not as hard as the golden ratio puzzle, but The problem is these puzzles do require a little bit of knowledge about how the Earth-Moon relationship works. That's what I'll say. And Billingston is kind of looking around as well.
I'm tapping my fingers to my chin like this, going, "What would Grum do?"
Probably say something and then suddenly know the answer.
So,
And yeah, go ahead.
will the Earth be lit in the same sort of way? Like, if
No, it's a separate. If you, sorry. Go ahead. Ask your question. I'm answering it prematurely.
If I open the right lens, the one that is supposedly labeled 0 for Earth, the Earth becomes fully lit?
Yes. It becomes full, and then if you pulled the lever, it would go through its phases, but it would be pi over 4 out of phase with the moon. Make sense?
Yeah, because I lit the other one with the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
It's pi over 4 just out of phase.
Right. Okay. Well, when it is a full moon, what does the moon see from when you look at Earth? I don't know. I guess the moon always sees nighttime.
I don't think I'm supposed to tell you that.
No, you're not. What do the other boys think?
I will tell you, you are at the core of the solution.
I mean, if the moon is full, then that implies that it is facing the sun, correct? It would be the sun would be opposite the Earth.
Right.
The Earth would be in the middle.
So when the moon is full, the Earth should be fully dimmed, which means that we should light the one labeled pi for the Earth and the one labeled 0 for the moon at the same time, and then let them go.
I think perhaps you might be onto something. Shall
Would
we
you
give it a
like
try?
to do that?
Let's give it a shot.
Okay, let's see if I can find the right ones. Look how many layers are in this Photoshop document. Oh, God. All right, lens 7 pi over 4 on the moon. You're closing it. So you can only have one. You can only have one open at a time anyway.
Okay.
You're opening which one on which?
I would like to put the moon at full, so 0,
Okay.
and then the Earth at fully dimmed at pi.
Oh, that's fire. Oh, God. Oh, God. Here it is. Yes. All right. You do so. And do you throw the lever to make them rotate?
Let's see what
happens.
happens.
So you do this, and you see that the moon starts full, and the Earth starts at what is called New Earth. And then the moon moves into waning gibbous, and the Earth moves into waxing crescent. And then they continue to rotate exactly pi out of phase, or 180 degrees. And so whatever the Earth's phase is, the moon is in the opposite phase, which is the solution you have chosen. And they rotate ad nauseum. They just keep going. And then as they do this a couple of times, you hear and a doorway begins to open on the other side of the room, revealing some stairs.
Hey, look at that.
Nice job,
work.
boys.
There you go.
Nice job. So, just a little science lesson for you. Dangers is completely right. If you are on the moon, you see the Earth in phases, exactly as you would see the moon from Earth, and it is in the exact opposite phase that the moon is in. So if you are looking at a full moon, if there were an astronaut on the moon, they would be seeing a new Earth, and so on. That is real, true, actual, that is literally how it works in the real world where we live.
My brain is expanding.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool. Science and space are awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Daring of you to trust us with that puzzle live on stream.
I trust you. And you got it, quick. Look, I
We
trust you
could have been here
guys.
for hours.
All right, so the puzzle section is over. you're finished with the puzzles, so we can cut back to the other layout without the Earth and the Moon. Their big
How's Billingston
faces
doing
yelling at
during
us.
all this?
Billingston is eating some snack that he found. It was hidden away in his pockets. He had some kind of frankfurter, like a hot dog, and he's been gnashing away at it. And he comes up to you guys and he's like, "Excellent work, boys. I was very hungry." And he's regained his hit points.
Nice.
And that's what he did. And really, can you blame him?
Not
He's
at
hungry. I'm hungry. I get it. So, nice job, boys. Nice work. Let me close this so my computer doesn't have to deal with as much. I like that puzzle, so I'm glad that you had a good time with it. I hope you didn't hate it too much.
That's a good one.
So, opposite you on this wall, right, there is these stairs on the outer wall that have sort of revealed themselves. And you can see the air bubble outside, but the air does like repressurize in a weird way because there's now like, it's back into the fake air. And I don't know, does it make sense? Who really cares? So as you walk through this doorway, you're suddenly on this like hidden outside portion of the tower that was not visible from the ground. It's like protected from below. It's almost like an optical illusion. It looks like it's just part of the wall. And there is like, as you go up the stairs that surround the tower, it's sort of like Hooktail's castle from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. There are little windows that you can see out of, and you can see this shimmering magical barrier, right? It's what keeps the water at bay, and it's similar to that which you saw before entering the northern sector. It's what you saw outside the wall. And looking over the vast waters, you see schools of fish every so often and swaths of darkness. And what is your walking order?
I think I'm pretty commonly first.
Yeah, Lucius, and then I'm behind Lucius.
I take the back.
Okay, Billingston's in between Caius and Gouger, Iwi. Everybody roll perception, please.
Nat 20, baby.
Nice.
Oh,
How'd the rest of you do?
16.
I'm just staring at my feet while I'm walking up these stairs.
Excellent. Are you able to get up the stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Carefully, though.
Yes, sure. Billingston also is getting up just fine. Gouger. When you're about halfway up the stairs, you surmise. So it's sort of just trailing all the way up to what must be the top. As you're sort of going up, something catches your eye. And you turn to the left, and you're looking through one of these small windows, and you see what you think, you're not 100% sure, but you see a mass of black in the distance go through the water, and you see the air bubble like reverberate as the water waves hit it, and it undulates against that force. Something has just displaced a massive amount of water. That is what you see.
Am I able to like point it out to the other people and be like, "Yo, do you guys see that?"
They see nothing.
Nothing.
They don't catch glimpse of anything. It seems to have passed.
All right. Then I kind of just hold that knowledge for now, as we walk up the stairs.
Sure. So, as you ascend the final stair, you see that you are now in a massive circular room with cobblestone floor, like huge. I think I wrote down the width of it somewhere. We'll get there. You surmise that you must be in the top of the turret at the top of the tower. It is somewhat dark in the room, but you see another pedestal in the center of the room.
Does the pedestal say anything? Is there anything on it?
As you walk towards it, you start to feel a slight rumbling in the ground. It feels as though water from outside is pushing against the walls and the roofs, or the wall and the roof. And, it's boom, 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 boom. Something is hitting the wall now. And then a muffled roar sort of echoes through the air, and it feels like it's transitioning from water into air, this sound that's creeping in between the crevices in the walls. And then the wall poof, bursts, and you catch a glimpse of the culprit of this noise. It's a leviathan swiping at the walls with its tail and slamming into the tower, just barely being able to make it through the magic barrier, just barely, coming in and out with its little appendages. And you can see it through this, newly formed opening in the wall where cobble and roof tiles are falling into the ground below. And you just see this amphibious beast, this massive blue, almost like underwater dragon, no wings, just scales down the back, incredibly gargantuan and gnashing teeth and big like bone-like structures pointing out the back. And the amphibious beast then backs up into the water once more. You almost can't see it except for its green eyes, if we're to be consistent thematically with the rest of the monsters. And it gives a final ram into the remaining structure and bursts through the magic barrier completely. And as it does so, it swipes away the remaining walls and roof, which blast against the magic wall and shatter into tiny pieces. And massive swaths of water spray in this way and that from the beast's entry onto the scene, hitting you, spraying you. And as you blink and clear the water from your eyes and look at the Leviathan, you see it now proudly standing on the now roofless, big, open platform 50 feet away. So you're basically like the total radius, it's a circle, and the radius of the circle is like 80 feet. It's huge. It's a massive structure. And it is 50 feet away from you. You're sort of like 30 feet in, and it's also 30 feet in from the other side. I think that math checks out. Something like that. It's 50 feet away from you. And the magic barrier remains intact, so you're able to still breathe just fine. But the magic barrier is at the walls of this arena. So, transitioning in and out of it would mean going into open water. And as you look closer, the Leviathan has these brightly green eyes and is looking not towards you at all, but at something in between two of its claws. It's a sapphire gem encased in glass that it's just picked up from the pedestal in the center. And the beast looks at it for a moment, admiring it, and then swallows it. And it looks at all of you. Roll initiative.
That serpent has swallowed the Tesseract. Whatever shall we do?
Master Skywalker, what do we do?
I think I know this one. I think we should go ask the fish lady princess to go inside the thing that swallowed the sapphire and retrieve it.
Okay.
Maybe she wrote a letter, dropped it into a nearby lake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good call.
Do
But
we
in
need a
order to
boomerang for
access,
this?
Maybe her father will slowly scoot across his throne.
Maybe. Can we get him weep, Bobby? Can we get him weep?
Oh, I'm sorry. Weep. 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 Oh, I gotta do this. Wait.
Excellent. Gouger, what was your roll?
21.
Okay. Lucius.
3.
Caius.
A 13.
Gouger, you're up first.
That's going. All right. So I'm going to do the gouger thing. But now I am equipped with a tasty little treat that I found at the bottom of the ocean, about at the bottom of the river. So I'm going to use one of those arrows and fire away at this Leviathan creature. Now, because I have Assassinate and my opponent has not attacked yet in this battle, I get advantage on my attack roll, which is good because the first roll was crap. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Excellent.
Here it goes.
I am so glad that you said that. Now, I don't know if anybody out there has played a rogue before, But this is where the fun stuff happens. So because that was an advantage attack roll, I activate sneak attack, which means that not only do I get the damage from my bow, I also get 5d6 damage additional on top of that. And in addition, the arrows do 2d6 cold damage. And in addition to that, the creature now has to make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. And if they don't, they're frozen until the end of their next turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll dice now.
They succeed.
Oh, have I missed this?
Dangers does go Kaiba Corp. He's like, you've activated my trap card, Yugi. You fool! Pot of greed. I have an instant.
So 34 damage.
Is that it?
That's all.
Okay.
Anything else? Would you like a bottle of water?
Yeah,
morning
soda
papers?
maybe. Can I get you something?
Just a quick snack. Now I'm looking around the arena. Is there anything to hide behind?
No.
Okay. Well, then I will just kind of vibe.
There
That'll
are
be my
other
turn.
people.
Yeah. I'll stay put. I'll stay put. I think 60 feet is it, or 50 feet, you say. I think
Yeah.
It's all right.
All right, we'll see. How much did you do? 37?
30.
It was 30 total?
Yeah.
Wow, what a low roll. I
I
almost
know.
feel bad for you.
Hey, Gouge, do you have a multi-attack?
No.
Okay. Thank goodness for the rest of us, otherwise we wouldn't get a turn.
I am really glad that he went first because a lot of people have been asking, how do you Speedrunners and Dragons?
You play a rogue. That's
Play
how.
a rogue.
Yeah, just stack 5 rogues. Just wait until he gets attacked.
It's hilarious.
Attacked.
Yeah. I don't get a multi-attack, but what I do get is even better. So
Death. But there's a 49. Yeah, of course, a 49 hits. All right.
Okay. So up next is Caius.
I'm only gonna do a simple maneuver here.
Wait, are you going to use my favorite magical item?
What?
Are you going to use my favorite magical item?
Oh, not now. Later.
Okay.
But I am the support paladin, so I gotta cast this spell at level 2 just so I can target myself, Gouger, Lucius, and Billingsworth. But we are going to cast the Bless. Let's get the Blesses up in there. For those that do not know how the Bless works,
Papa Bless.
that's right. Any attack or what was it, saving throw? Yeah, you get a 1d4 bonus along with whatever you roll. So
for the next minute?
or the next 10 respective turns. Yes.
Right.
And that's on saving throws
Yes. Saving throws and attack rolls.
and attack rolls.
Yes.
That's great.
Excelente. Muy excelente.
And then yeah, I'm just gonna stay firmly still.
Bless.
End my turn. Get the Bless out.
Get the bless. Can we get some blesses in chat? Excellent. Up next is Nigel Thornberry. Who's next.
Smashing.
Billingsworth. Here's what he's gonna do. He is going to just run right up to this thing, and he's gonna use his surge ability to. His is a little different. He's gonna take 2 actions in his turn. And so he's going to use 1 action to dash. So he is at the thing's feet. He goes to its hind, like just by its center, basically. And he's going to swing his axe. And add a d4 as well. Oh, it's a crit. Billingston has this magical ability called Billingsworth Pride. And in exchange for only ever wielding his axe, and that's it, he can get a crit on an 18 through a 20. So
Nice.
he crits on a 19. And he's going to do a lot of damage. Gouger, you're putting up weak numbers.
Probably.
This dude just did 36 damage.
Let's go. Let's go, Billingsworth.
He takes a big swing of his mighty jewel-encrusted and golden battle axe and just swings down on this guy's tummy and does 36 chomping damage.
Let's go.
Up next is the Leviathan. He doesn't like any of the things that are happening, to be clear. So the first thing that he's going to do is he is going to try to hit Billingston with his tail. He crits. So that's unfortunate. Well, I guess it's only fair because he crit the guy, so. He does 28 damage to Billingston.
Ouch.
It's a lot of damage. Yeah, okay. He does 20, he just whoosh, slaps him. And now the Leviathan comes right up to you all, and he attempts to claw Caius.
Multi-attack?
Does a 21 hit you?
Yeah, I believe a 21 hits me.
Okay. Oh, low rolls. You take 13 damage.
All right, that's not bad.
Okay. Up next is Lucius.
All right. Let's go ahead and cast Blinding Smite, which will apply to my next melee attack. And then I'm gonna rush this guy and swing my longsword. And I did not roll high enough, I don't think. I rolled a, let's see, what are the numbers? It's my first longsword attack in a little bit. 2 plus 3 plus 5. So 10.
Plus a d4.
Oh, true, because of the bless.
It's still going to miss, just so you know, but
Okay,
might as well.
yeah. There you go. Well, I whiff, but I have multi-attack, so I'm going to hit him on the backswing one more time, I hope. And that one is a 25.
That's a hit.
Cool. And so my damage is going to be a d8. I'm gonna go ahead and use a website for this, so I don't have to roll a million dice. So Blinding Smite hits him, and he gets 3d8 radiant damage from that. He also must do a Constitution saving throw or be blinded for the next minute.
He fails the Constitution saving throw, but he's going to use his legendary resistance, which 2 times per day allows him to succeed a saving throw he fails.
Oh, well,
So
fantastic.
he succeeds. What was the damage?
Calculating it now.
After he does this really quick, I got to take this call to tell them that I'm coming to get the food, which is not actually me. Explain the show. I'm a great showrunner.
This is Speedrunners and Dragons, and we are a crew who finished a big campaign that lasted like 6 months. We did like 13 episodes. They're all on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. If you wanted to catch up on the first season, this is a one-shot that ADF wrote, and it is kind of a postscript onto our season, or onto our campaign 1. So we're reprising our old characters. It's taking place in the same world, kind of a footnote on the story. Campaign 2 is starting in 10 days on twitch.tv/ADF. So if you're liking the content, then stick around for that later.
Yeah, we're definitely pushing on that YouTube. Actually, this episode will be on that YouTube as well. So, and we're doing our best to kind of skirt around like the season 1 spoilers, so you say. So, you know, it's definitely imperative. If you want to get caught up with absolutely everything, make sure you head on over to youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons.
You guys are the best. These guys are plugging monsters.
I also run a show here, so.
He does, yes. My Philly cheesesteak is being delivered post-haste.
Delicious.
Roommates are the best. My roommate's just going to get it for me. What a king.
Very nice.
Lucius, how much damage did you do?
24.
Nice. Does he take any
I'm sorry,
extra damage from...
26, because when I'm wielding one-handed, I get +2 damage.
Is there any kind of like fire stuff?
It is all mostly radiant damage aside from the sword.
Okay. Excellent. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Gouger.
All right. So he's right up in our face now, suddenly, right? Now,
Yes.
question for you.
Answer for you.
Just, no reason I might be asking this, but is there
Yes, your
any
teammates
of
are
my...
5 feet. Yes, they're 5 feet away. Yes.
He knew what he's too smart. He's the DM.
Oh,
so he
you.
knows. He knows. That'll be relevant in a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my movement to basically kind of strafe around to the back. And I'm going to draw my poison dagger and attempt to stab the back of the Leviathan.
Oh,
with
the poison
such.
dagger. I forgot. I don't want to spoil how you got that, but I forgot that you have that.
Okay. Does a 15 hit?
Add D4.
All right. Oh, 19 hit.
That hits.
Whew. Let's go. So, the reason I asked if there was a teammate in melee range is because sneak attack only works if you advantage on the attack roll. However, there are exceptions, and one of the exceptions is if you have a friendly target within 5 feet of the thing you're hitting, which I do, which means I do get sneak attack, which is fantastic. So, I'm gonna add a whole bunch of dice together again. I'm also gonna use a website because I don't want to have to do that much math.
Hey, I feel you.
So this is okay. This is good. So 28 damage.
And what's the poison?
So the Leviathan now has to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
He succeeds.
Okay. Then nothing happens.
Okay. He's a big guy. Hard to poison an elephant.
It's true. That's what my father used to say.
That's what he said. All the time. Every time he said something,
Every
it was
time.
that. It was that. Literally nothing else. Is that your turn?
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage kind of backwards towards where Billingsworth is.
Okay, I don't know how far you're able to get with like going around. I'd say you can get like 5 feet back.
Okay. That's fine.
Also, yeah, it's worth mentioning that like we don't use combat diagrams in this campaign, at least not right now. I'm toying with the idea for campaign 2, but I personally as a DM really enjoy this sort of in your head play style over the internet. I don't love the like a lot of the online. I find it personally cumbersome when I'm trying to like improv stuff on the fly, even though the resources are really good. But if we ever do stuff in person, there will be figurines to be sure.
Excellent.
All right. You just went Caius.
Okay. Cool. Sure. I would like to use my movement to move at least 20 feet away from the Leviathan. That's a little bit too close.
Yes, sir. You can make it to the social distancing, big social distancing. Mm-hmm. You can make it to the perimeter.
Okay, awesome.
Just shy. You're 10 feet shy of the perimeter.
Sure, as much of my back to the wall as close can be within that 30.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Then I would like to bring forth my oath bow. And I would like to designate that Leviathan as my sworn enemy. It's a bit of a unique thing I can do with this oath bow. And I would like to attack it, hopefully with as much of a bonus I have. 22, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right, so I am going to do this attack, and whenever it hits, the enemy also takes an extra 3d6 piercing damage. So I'm just gonna like add that all up real quick.
Sure.
So I'll do the extra damage first.
I have there's a thing in the chat here that somebody's talking about. It does look like they're speedrunning combat, basically is what they're saying. My group is usually far slower per combat round. My recommendation to you as a DM or as a player is recommend that people be thinking of their turn while other people are going. It's very fun to watch and listen to the action, and you should, but I also struggle with this as a player, but these three are very good at knowing what they're going to do before it happens. And so things are snappy.
So I'm gonna do a total of 19 damage with all that.
Ooh.
It should also be worth noting with the oath bow. I don't think there's any cover here, but like my arrows will always find its way to the sworn enemy.
Excellent. There are like little stones around, but there's not like great places to like totally hide behind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Billingston goes. He's just gonna swing again. I mean, there's not really anything else for him to do.
Rush up and do that.
Okay, well, it's an unfortunate attack. So he's going to use his other surge to try to attack again. He gets 2. D4. Billingston does not hit. He misses twice. He's upset with himself.
Ouch.
Um,
Couldn't hit the
up
broadside
next
of the barn.
is BB. The Leviathan will go now. And what it will do is it will first attempt to claw at Lucius. Does a 19 hit you?
Tie goes to the attacker?
Yes.
Then yes.
Okay, let me read something. Sorry.
Oh, it's never good when he's got to read it.
Okay. We'll do damage first. Man, these low rolls. You take 11 damage.
Can I take my reaction now? Or do we have to wait for whatever else is a part of it?
I think you should wait.
Okay.
Make a strength saving throw.
Alrighty. Plus my 7 charisma, right? 24.
And 1d4 for what it's
true.
worth. But
Is 24
you
good
succeed.
enough? Okay.
Okay. He tries to grab you, but you're able to push him off, and you can take your reaction now if you'd like.
Cool. Yes, I will use Hellish Rebuke, which is a reaction from being damaged. So I point, and the creature bursts into flames, and he must make a dexterity saving throw.
He fails.
Fantastic. And he takes 3d10 fire damage. Oh! Which is 22.
Okay. Very nice. Is there any lingering effect from that?
No.
Okay, I can't remember which move of yours is the one that burns people.
Yeah, it's Searing Smite. I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, his turn's not done.
Oh, well, that's okay.
He is now going to, he begins to glow blue at his stomach, and it looks like the sapphire is, pulsating, and he's going to try to control water, which is what the sapphire allows him to do, and he's going to try to rush water along the sides of him to hit those of you that are adjacent to him, which is all of you except for Caius. So everybody
I have
first,
a question.
Yes.
If I am wearing my bracelet, does this water basically not exist? Oh, I broke it. I'm sorry.
I'm going to say no, and here's why.
Because it's magical water controlled by a magical thing?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's also, the bracelets and the sapphire are magically intertwined.
Okay.
They are made of the same magical material.
That's fair.
I mean, the water's just going to hit you. But if you were in the water outside the walls, if you traversed past the thing, yeah, you would fall. And you could take it off and swim or whatever. So first thing that happens is everybody needs to make a strength saving throw except for Caius.
Who's within 10 feet of me? You get +7.
Probably no one.
I don't think anybody.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
Okay. I rolled a 15.
1d4.
Yes, true. 17.
Okay, and Gouger
14.
and Billingston fails. Okay. That's more like it. Lucius, you take 9 damage.
Okie dokie.
And you are not moved. Billingston and Gouger, you take 17.
Ooh.
I use my reaction Uncanny Dodge to take half of that.
Okay. Sure. So you take 9 as well.
9. Yep.
And then Billingston takes 17. Okay. And you and Billingston are moved, and you're pushed into the water outside the walls. So you are shoved through the magical barriers, and you're floating outside. And if your bracelet is on, you instantly begin to fall, but you can, like, you in real time would react and pull it off. So you essentially are floating just outside the barrier, and you're on the other side, basically, like, behind him.
Okay.
How
Makes
far
sense.
away is the air barrier from the perimeter?
So it's at the perimeter.
Okay.
Lucius, it's your turn.
Cool. I'm going to do something which I don't know why I basically never used this in the main campaign, but I'm going to use Vow of Enmity, which is a bonus action that gives me advantage on attack rolls for the next minute against this guy until it dies or passes out, which is the goal anyway. So after that, I will use my longsword. And that is... let's see, let's roll the D4. That's not enough. That's a 15.
Yeah, not enough.
Okay.
What does the Vow of Enmity do?
I get attack rolls for the next 10 turns. Or advantage on attack rolls.
Okay.
Yep. And my second attack is a 17 base plus a lot, so that's going to
Yeah,
hit.
it hits. Yeah, it hits.
So I'm going to use Divine Smite in a level 3 spell slot to increase the power of this attack by 4d8. So let's see. This is going to be 5d8 in total. That was a very poor 5d8. 20 plus 5. 25 damage.
Very nice. Does anybody know how many turns Bless has been going on? Probably 2?
Two, I think.
That was
After
the
my
end of the
turn will
2.
be the third.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for keeping track, Caius. I appreciate that. Okay. Is that your turn, Lucius?
That's it.
Okay, Gouger, it's all you.
Did I use
well-
Vow of Enmity, roll a very low roll, and then not roll again for advantage? Like literally
Yes.
3 seconds later?
Yes.
Okay. Can I re-roll my first attack and see if it hits?
Yes.
Okay. Since we just passed it. It was even lower.
Okay. Gouger, it's you.
Okay, so I am now floating. How far away from the stage?
You're like 10 feet back, so you would have enough movement to like swim in and land.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And replace my bracelet once I get in.
Sure.
Or if that's what's necessary to get in, then like right before I get in or whatever.
Sure.
And immediately just kind of shake myself off from such a weird attack interaction and then draw my short bow and fire with one of these frost arrows again.
Okay.
Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Excellent. That's perfect. So, Lucius is within melee range again, correct?
Yes.
That's what I like to hear. I'm gonna let the computers do the math for me. And we have 35 damage this time. And because I use my ice arrows, a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. Or else they are frozen until the end of their next turn.
He succeeds.
Okay.
35, you said?
35.
You added the cold damage already?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. You're finished. Well, you can't do anything else. Caius, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Sure. Searching around after that one massive attack that got 2 of my party members pushed out. Is there any way that I can like look for and possibly reach Billingston?
Yeah, you would not be able to do that.
Okay. Well, darn.
You're on the opposite end of the arena, basically.
Okay.
The ice arrows are not really the thing making Gouger's attack so strong. It's all his bonuses.
Yeah, it's the sneak attack.
Okay. I mean, since I was a little bit unscathed with that, I'm just going to let the oath bow rip once more. Hopefully that can find its way to the Leviathan. Does a 17 hit?
Did you add 1d4 yet?
21.
That hits.
Cool. So I will add up the bonus damage, which is 3d6. And that will be 11 plus the 1d8 plus 1 for 20 damage.
20?
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Is that your turn?
What's the positioning of like the party members right now?
You are facing its face, the Leviathan, and it's like 20 feet from you. So you could back up to the wall. You could move further along the perimeter away from it. Lucius is on its like right side, I think. Or on your right. I have Lucius in my brain on its left, but your right, personally. And Gouger is behind it on the opposite end of the perimeter, and Billingson is behind Gouger in the water.
Can I use my movement to still skirt along the perimeter, but still move toward Gouger? So I'd
Yes.
be his right?
You'd be on his right, on your left.
Yeah. Then yeah, just to be a bit
You're
more closer to
moving
that.
left along the perimeter this way. The
Yes.
Leviathan is on the right end of the platform, basically, right now. So you're moving along this way of the perimeter. So
Okay,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
sort of make a little bit of an arc towards Gouger. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't get there this turn, but you can make it like halfway.
Yeah, I'll make it halfway. Use
Okay.
a full 30.
Great.
And then it's my turn.
It's Billingston's turn. He's going to swim to land. And he lands. And can't really do anything else this turn. Its tail is probably too far to reach. Well, he does have reach. It might be 10 feet to his tail. This thing is huge. Yeah. Crit. This one's a true 20.
Nice.
It's 3 crits for Billingston today.
Nice.
He's balancing them out by going whole turns, just like waving his axe around, doing nothing.
Yeah. I'm Billingsworth.
$16. So he swings at the tail, trying to like lop it off. He's unable to make a very impressionable gash. And he stays place. The Leviathan's turn. The Leviathan will attempt to claw Gouger.
Ooh. He's coming all the way over here?
He's coming all the way over here?
What is he doing
Gouger,
over here?
does a 19 hit you?
It does.
Okay. Well, first you're going to take the damage, but you're going to make a strength saving throw for me while I calculate the damage.
Okay.
So you take 18 damage, which means you take 9 damage. And then tell me what you got on the strength save.
19.
Okay, you fail.
Whoa.
I fail.
Yes. Did you
Dang.
add 1d4?
Did not. 22.
You succeed.
Whew. Okay.
You're able to
That's
just
neat.
slip out just barely out of its grasp.
Thank goodness for that.
And now... What does he want to do next? He's going to lurch around because he can move basically the whole arena in one go. He's going to lurch around and try to bite Gouger as well. Or no, he's going to attack Caius, actually. He comes right up to Caius and tries to bite him.
Oh.
I'll be back 1 sec. I'm getting food at my door.
Sure. Does a 24 hit you? You take 16 damage.
Sure.
You must now make a strength saving throw.
Does an 18 doesn't succeed?
Nope.
20 doesn't succeed?
Nope.
Then I fail.
Okay, you are in the clutches of this creature's mouth.
That's not good.
Not at all.
Nothing bad happens yet. It is now Lucius's turn.
Alrighty then. I see my pally bro basically being eaten, and I'm just thrown into a blind rage. And I'm gonna try to hack at its face with my sword. I'm going to also.
You can't make it to its face.
Oh,
because it did run over to him.
Gotcha. Well, I'm just gonna go as close to his face as I can then.
Sure.
I'm going to use Searing Smite, which will apply to my next melee attack, and use my sword. That is not good enough, but I have advantage. That is also a 2. Okay, well, here comes my second attack, which is a 1, but I have advantage. That's a 12. Okay, I just roll a 2, a 1, and then a 12. So 12 is good enough because that's going to be a 20 in total.
Yeah, it hits. Yeah.
Okay.
It hits.
Cool. That took too long. So I guess first we'll do Searing Smite, which is 3d6 fire damage and causes the target to ignite. And so for each one of its subsequent turns, it has to make a Constitution saving throw or else take 1d6 more. So
Keep me honest about that.
Yep. So, or it can use an action to put out the flames. So 3d6 for Searing Smite. Well, I'm gonna do 1d8 for my sword, and I'm also gonna do Divine Smite one more time, which is something I can just apply after the fact to increase my melee damage.
He's hacking.
Hacks, yep. So let's add my 4d8, expend my last level 3 slot. That's a lot of dice. And I do a total of 48 damage.
Holy
Let's go.
Oh my lord!
The bleep gets me every time, man. Where was that when I said F earlier, man? What's going on here? This
I'm
is
sorry,
selective.
I didn't cover for you. My bad. I'm
that's
sorry.
Nice attack. Nice. So it's on fire. Keep me honest about that.
Yep, it's on fire.
And I'm still in its mouth, and it's on fire.
Yep.
And
Well, it's like body is on fire. Anyway, we'll get to you.
the barbecue.
Gouger, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna do what I do best and keep on shooting with Ice Arrow in tow. Does a hold on. 22. Yeah, right?
Uh-huh.
And Lucius is in melee range. Thank you, Lucius, for doing that.
You're very welcome.
So how many? That's 8 again. 8d6 plus 4 is 27.
Yeah.
And they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
They fail, but they're going to choose to succeed.
Okay.
That was
That's the
the
last time
second
they
one,
can do
right?
that, though.
No, I don't think I will.
I don't think I will be frozen, actually.
I actually feel okay.
Yeah.
Today, I choose not to die.
Right.
Okay, so how much damage total?
27.
Okay. Okay. Mental maths is hard. Excellent. Is that your turn? Okay, Caius, it's your turn. Your only option is really to make a strength saving throw.
Yeah, okay. And I will try. This is turn, what, 5 of Bless?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Is Caius in range to get Lucius's bonus? No?
No, the mouth is raised.
22. Can I get a 22 to break out of its mouth?
Oh my god, you guys. And you jump down from the mouth. Like, oh.
How'd it smell?
You're asking me that now?
It's bad.
You know.
You catch whiffs of acid. You like smell acid when you're in there. He voms a little on the platform. That's your turn, unfortunately. That's everything.
Oh, okay.
You could probably move a little, actually. You'd have about half your movement action
I
left,
would like
bet.
to slink away from the thing that ate me.
Yeah, you're able to do so without incurring an attack of opportunity, I'll say.
Awesome. I'll be behind Gouger or something, recuperating.
Billingston's turn. Billingston is going to run up and properly hit this guy. It's not a good day to be Billingston. Just not a good day to be him. He misses. It's an on-off with this guy. Crit or nothing. It's the Leviathan's turn. The Leviathan's not jazzed about the fact that the thing he was about to eat is no longer eatable.
The Leviathan's also not jazzed about the fact that it's currently on fire.
Thank you. What must I do?
Either spend an action to put it out, or do a Constitution saving throw against 15? No, 19.
Constitution? 19, you said?
That's correct.
It fails.
Oh, then he
And
takes...
it can't. Yes, it can't legendary resistance this.
He
So
takes
what does it take?
1d6. I can roll it since it's my
I got
damage.
it.
All
Okay,
right.
you roll it.
I rolled a 4.
It's better than what I got. Excellent. So now what he's going to do is he will first try to hit Lucius with his tail. Or actually, he's going to use a claw because Lucius is right there. No, that doesn't hit you. And then he's going to whip around, and now he's facing all of you. So he's at the opposite end. He's moved like the full length, and he's at the opposite end of this circle. And he is going to... he, like, stands up on his legs and really protrudes his stomach, and it starts... whoop, whoop, whoop. And just like a steam breath emanates out at all of you. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
And-
that's not
Oh,
my 14.
dexterity.
I would say Billingston is within 10 feet of Lucius. And we'll give you Caius as well. No,
So
it's just Billingston. I'll be a stickler about this one. You guys are doing a lot of damage, so only Billingston gets the +7 bonus.
But you get the blesses.
You do get the bless.
Oh, true.
All right.
yeah.
Well, Billingston fails. Lucius, what'd you get?
I got a 14.
All told,
Yeah.
bless +7 everything.
I have no dexterity, my dude.
Oh, I thought you got plus everything on saving throws.
Oh, yeah, sure, but it's still not my forte.
All right, man.
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Be that
whatever.
as it may.
I
Caius.
turned a 3 into a 12. That's pretty good.
Caius
14 and 4 is 18.
and Gouger.
20.
Gouger succeeds.
And you've activated my trap card, which is fantastic. Rogues have evasion, which means if I ever have to make a dexterity saving throw to take half damage, is that what this is?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
In these situations, if I succeed, I take no damage, and if I had failed, I only take half.
Oh, cool. All right, fun.
You're welcome.
Everybody else, get ready to eat shit.
I'm gonna get cooked alive in my armor.
It's cold damage and fire damage. Does anybody resist any of that?
I resist fire damage.
Okay, does anybody else resist any of that?
No.
Wait,
Let's
if
see.
it's cold and fire damage, can we just cancel it out? It's like
No.
I'm just warm.
It's like scalding breath.
Room temperature damage.
Billingstone doesn't resist it either. Okay, here comes the cold damage. We'll do that first. $15.
To everyone? Oh,
Yeah,
that's the cold
everybody
damage.
except for Gouger.
I'm just kind of standing there like, oh, this is like a nice like shower.
Oh wow! It's like at amusement parks when they have those little misting things, and you're like, oh my god.
That's right. The
so there-
Coca-Cola misting booths. Yeah.
So there's the cold damage. Here comes the hot damage, and Danny, you'll just have this.
Yup.
$9. So Danny, you'll take $5.
Okay.
I'm noticing the chat reacting to rogues and their brokenness. What we make up for in evasion and stealth, we lack in hit points. So if something does manage to hit us, we probably will not do very well.
Just don't get hit, lol.
Just
Yeah,
don't
just
get
don't
hit.
get hit forehead. Yeah.
So that was a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
It was a lot of damage.
But you see him now really struggling. Like that took a lot of energy for him to do that. Up next is Lucius.
Alrighty. Well, I still have advantage on attack rolls. I'm gonna use Searing Smite one more time. Actually, no, let's not do that. I'm gonna hold on to my spell slots real quick. I'm just gonna hit him with my sword. That's a 3. This dice is broken, let me tell you. It's just,
Who gave you that?
I don't know.
What a fool.
Some guy who wanted to give me weighted dice, apparently.
I did weight them. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That is an...
By the way, what are you doing right now? Because you are far from him.
Oh, I'm far? I got
He
blown
moved.
back? Oh,
No,
he
he
moved.
moved.
Can I approach him in one turn?
No.
That's not good. All right. Well, I guess I'll just run towards him as much as I can.
You can dash to reach him.
Oh, okay.
His front leg.
That what does that take? It takes an action, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with multi-attack,
You
that's
have to
not
have
2
it-
actions, right? That's like if I take the attack action, I get to attack twice, but it's not. I get 2
believe
actions.
so. I believe so.
All right. I'll dash to him, and actually no, I'll just walk to him as for my 30 feet, and I'll use
Okay.
lay on hands to heal myself for 20 hit points.
Okay. It's my special day. Excellent. Gouger.
All right. Well, none of my party is within melee range today, unfortunately.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be doing schwack loads of damage, but that doesn't mean that I can't still try and shoot him with an ice bow. See if I can freeze him. Now that he can't stop that from happening. Oh, and I crit failed.
Okay. You're aiming. And you're aiming. And you're aiming. And there's a noise. There's a noise.
Oh, there's a noise.
And you turn around and run into the water.
Oh no.
Something comes over you. I don't know what it is, but you just run into the water wall, and you make it just to the water, and you take your bracelet off, and you're swimming.
Oh. I mean, okay.
It was like a series of tripping. Like you tripped a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just trip and you wind up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's your turn. You could move
Can I-
now if you
Can I
wanted to.
use can I use my bonus action to just like well, yeah, I mean I guess I have my movement still, right? So I just very as if in a haze, just kind of come back. Oh, it was nothing, I guess. And then I
And
stand
you use
there.
part of your movement in this crit fail to. This is a very weird crit fail. I've never done anything like this, but it feels important.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you can use your what remains to get down.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. Do you still get your bonus
And
attack?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing.
All right, well, that's your turn. Caius.
Things are getting a little bit tricky now. But I am going to not so much as approach the Leviathan as much. I am just gonna hide behind Lucius a little bit because I also want to lay on hands on my own. And heal 25 HP.
Everybody's just
Everybody's just patting their own backs right now. And Gouger's walking off into the abyss.
Yeah, see you, dude.
very confusing turn.
Is that your turn, Caius?
Yeah, I moved, and that's my action.
All right. Billingston is up. And he's going to throw his axe. He winds up and throws it like a baseball bat.
Sick.
And hits. Let's go. Let's go. $21 damage. It lodges itself firmly inside, and he runs his full movement, 30 feet, to close the gap halfway. It is now the Leviathan's turn, and it uses one of its actions to rest because it is struggling with the amount of steam it just poured out of its body. But it takes a deep breath and moves up to where Lucius and Billingston are, and it attempts to claw at Lucius. That is a miss. Up next, Lucius.
All right. He's right in my face, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. 1d6
Okay,
for
it's
damage.
okay. No apology accepted.
Yeah. 1d6 for damage, or the Constitution throw against, what was it?
It failed.
Okay, so 1d6. And it is a 3.
Okay. Hey, it's not nothing.
A little bit of fire damage. Just, one of his eyebrows cinches up if he's got those. I'm gonna use Branding Smite, which breaks the concentration on Searing Smite, so he's no longer on fire. And then I'm gonna swing my sword. So this will apply to whatever my next weapon attack is, and it'll do 46 radiant damage.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's an 18, but let's just roll one more time. Okay, so that is definitely a hit. That's like 20 a lot. And
20 a lot.
20 a lot, it's a good number. So 4d6 radiant, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus my sword. And then let's go ahead and add level 2 Divine Smite, because I ran out of level 3s, which means 3 more d8s. So we're up to 8 d8s on this turn.
Average of 37 damage.
Yeah, I did better than average. I did 51 damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Is that it?
Well, it is not it actually, because if he was invisible, then he's visible now.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Whew.
And he can't become invisible again.
Oh, thank God.
And he's also glowing a little bit.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I do love that spell. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat that are shouting their love for D&D. Hey, subscribe to our YouTube. YouTube.com/Speedrunners Dragons. I'm gonna plug until the day I die.
That was my first sword attack.
Okay, keep going.
I popped a lot of stuff.
80%.
Popped a lot of stuff on that attack. So this next one's just gonna be a regular old sword attack. 10 and another 18, so that's gonna hit. And this one's just gonna be regular old sword. So that is a 4 plus 5 is 9 damage.
9?
9 more, yep.
Excellente. It is Gouger's turn.
All right. And we got friends in melee range again, so let's shoot with that short bow.
Heck yeah.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
21.
Hit.
Bueno. That does 26 damage and DC Constitution saving throw.
He succeeds again.
Lucky
As you
butt.
imagine, a Leviathan has a lot of constitution.
Yes.
He's very constituent.
Constitutional? No, that's not right.
He's constitutional. He's a huge Bill of Rights guy.
Advocate, yeah.
Big Bill of Rights guy. Third Amendment, his favorite. Get those alien and sedition acts out of here. Just a little U.S.
'em out.
history humor for you. Everybody loves it. It's a crowd pleaser.
Always.
Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay, Caius.
Okay, I will. I think. Yeah, I'm behind Lucius. It's fine. Don't worry. I do have Oathbow though, and I think. Actually, what's the condition of the Leviathan right now? It seems to have taken a lot of smiting.
I don't think Smite changes anything about it.
No, I know. I just want to know like how it looks.
He's looking a little grim.
Okay. Is there any like indication of like where in its body the sapphire might have gone or might be? Like if it's glowing?
Tummy.
Tommy? I am going to attempt to attack its tummy with the Oathbow and strike it true with a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Awesome. Let's do the 3d6 now and the 1d8 plus 1. That'll be 18 damage to the tummy.
The arrow goes in but doesn't fully penetrate, but it's made somewhat of a mark.
Nice.
18, you said?
18, yes.
Okay. Billingston's turn. He's going to swing. Well, actually, it's come up to him now, and he's going to attempt to dislodge the axe. And fail, so he's going to punch it. Because he refuses to wield anything. So he's just gonna.
You relinquish my axe to me, right?
I'm Billingston. Billingston, that's my axe. You give it back, finders, keepers, losers, weepers. And he nat ones. So Billingston runs in to punch, and his forehead hits the axe, and he falls unconscious. He's running up to the Leviathan like, I can't believe this, blah! And then it's donk. And he's on the ground, fully unconscious.
Fantastic.
It's the Leviathan's turn. And the Leviathan is going to tail swipe down at Billingston with advantage. That's a hit. He takes 17. Billingston's looking not so good. And then he is going to move to claw Danny again. Well, actually, hang on.
Who's Danny?
Who's Danny?
Danny.
It's a good point. It's what I would have said, to be fair. He's going to try to bite Danny.
Munch him.
That is a hit. Danny, roll a strength save.
You got it.
This is like turn 7 of Bless, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you.
Bless. Yep. 19.
You take 17 damage.
19 strength.
Dragon is on fire. I'm sure everyone on chat is yelling at me. Oh no, Dragon is not on fire. Danny released his concentration on the spell.
I
Yes.
did.
Eat it. Eat it, you goobers. What's happening right now? You did a strength save. What did you roll?
My 19.
That's a fail. Do you have bless? Did you roll the bless?
I did.
You fail. You are in its clutches.
Okay.
It is in its final phase. And it is going to swallow you. Are you ready for what that means?
Oh, it just does that right now?
Well, it has to take an action for it, but if at the start of your turn you could have tried to grapple out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because in this phase, it's just doing actions.
Okay.
So,
Did it also hit Billingston this turn?
yeah,
Yep.
Oh, so it has
three-
3 actions?
3 actions this turn.
All right. Yeah. Just trying to avoid being swallowed at all costs.
I get it. I understand. I would argue as well. I'd rather not be swallowed.
Okay.
The creature, while swallowed, is blinded and restrained. It has total cover against attacks and other effects outside the Leviathan.
Oh, so it's safe in here. That's nice.
It's nice and cozy, and also, you take 20 acid damage at the start of each of the Leviathan's turns.
Oh, okay.
There are ways to get you out. But you can also attack, for what it's worth. So just so you know. That was the Leviathan's turn. Lucius, it's your turn.
Okay. Is its mouth completely 100% sealed shut?
Yes, and also you're down the esophagus, or the trait esophagus. And, I don't know, dragon biology. And you're in its stomach.
Oh. Okay. That's a shame. Because I was hoping I could maybe see outside a little bit.
Hey, roll perception.
Oh, okay. That is a 16.
There's something blue glowing a little bit further into the stomach.
Oh, so there is. Am I free to move to it?
Yes, it is tough terrain. You're in acid.
Okay.
But it's like 10 feet from you. So you can spend almost all your movement getting there. It's half movement.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I would like to go ahead and grab the blue thing.
Okay.
Can I see it? Can I
You're holding it in your hands, and it emanates blue.
Okay.
And you feel as though you could, as an action, not as an attack, it's like a spell, but it requires 2 actions, so I'm going to say it's your full action if you choose to use it. You can move water that is within 100 feet of you at will.
Okay. Well, do I have an action right now?
Yes.
Do I have a mental picture of where everyone else was outside? Relative to my current facing direction?
Roll wisdom.
Ooh, okay. 7.
No.
I'm not very wise. Okay. Well, I don't want to wash everybody off the thing. So I suppose what I'll try to do is, are there any walls of the stomach nearby?
Yeah, you can kind of feel the walls of the stomach.
Okay. I'm gonna try to poke my longsword through. Actually, let's use a.
It's
Let's
worth
use a
mentioning,
javelin.
Danny. I should. This would become intrinsic to you as you hold it. You can feel where the water is relative to you. So, like, you could bring the water towards yourself without knowing where anything is besides the water and you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair, but I don't want to flood everybody else.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a javelin, which is piercing damage. Feels like it's the right tool for the job, and just try my very hardest to puncture a very small hole through to the outside.
Roll attack.
Okay. That is a 24.
It's a hit.
Okay. And my damage is just a teensy little d6. Plus strength. I rolled 8 damage.
Okay. It takes 8 damage.
Okay.
And it quivers. But you feel as though if you wanted to break free, you must deal more damage.
Okay. Break free as in have him spit me out or pierce
Yeah.
him? Okay.
Well, if you want to pierce him... Well, actually, roll
all I'm
strength.
trying to do is pierce him.
Okay, roll strength.
Okay. 17.
You make a pretty appreciable gap. You're starting to get through.
Okay, all I need is a tiny gap. Because
I know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I was a good person to be
save
swallowed. I have a
Save
bonus
it.
action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you aren't all the way through yet.
Oh,
And the water requires 2 actions.
no. All I need is a tiny little hole. If I can see the outside, then I will use Misty Step as my bonus action to teleport outside of his belly.
That's brilliant. I'm giving it to you. That's genius.
I knew it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have the thingy.
You're covered in blood, by the way.
That's fine.
Like head to toe blood, and your bottom half is like acid that's dripping off of you. You look like Carrie at the end of Carrie.
Okay.
Okay. Hey guys. I'm not freaking out. Everything's fine. How's it going? Everybody cool out here? All right, good. Cool. I'm gonna go over here. Is that okay? Very nice. It's Gouger's turn.
Okay. Is there anybody left in melee range of this thing?
Billingston is
Bobby-
out of commission. Lucius is within melee range.
Okay. Perfect. Shooty. It's frozen arrow. Yep. Does a hold on. 20.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. I'm doing less and less damage with this every single time. 25.
That doesn't seem like not that much.
It's still quite a bit, but it's less than it has been. And then
Constitution saving
DC
throw?
Constitution. Yes.
He succeeds yet again. Sorry.
It's all right. I'll just keep trying.
Hey, it's all you can do. Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Caius.
I oath bow to rend him asunder at his stomach.
Sure.
Let us roll this. Hold on.
I mean, Danny did get the thing out for what it's worth.
Also, just breaking the fourth wall for a second. It is May 8th, 2021, and it is currently snowing where I live.
No way.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Literally
Canada.
no way. Wow.
Yep, that's great. Anyways.
Wow. Caius, do whatever you want, my guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, just. I mean, I know he's got the crystal. I'm going to probably skirt by about 50 feet to his left, the Leviathan's left, to just kind of like distract him, as Lucius has this precious crystal of ours, and hit him with the oath bow for a 25. I'm assuming
That's
that
a hit.
hit.
That's a hit.
Do the 3d6s right now, plus the 1d8 for 23 damage.
That's exactly how much health he has. That is exactly how much health he has. How you want to do it? How you want to do it?
You know, I kind of want. Can I give that to Lucius? I feel like Lucius should be able to use the crystal and like use it to fell the Leviathan in a really crafty way.
All right, so here's what happens. You draw the oath bow, and it circles around the Leviathan and then right into his head, and he drops, and he's like writhing. And Lucius, you see an opportunity to, quote, use the water in an interesting way, end quote.
Okay.
There was something in front of my camera. So you do you. Caius is giving you this gift.
Okay. Well, I feel I feel the power of waterbending flood through me, and I do my best Katara impression to just whoosh, just send all the water behind me straight at this thing to hopefully get him off the tower and back into the sea from whence he came.
He rolls and rolls and rolls, hits the magic barrier, and as it hits the magic barrier, he shreds layer by layer. It's like a paper, and blood fills the water, and blood spurts out at you guys. acid like coming out. You're able to like move around it as it falls, but then just like this green and purple and red blood just floods the water beyond. You've done it.
And we made sure that none of the acid hit Billingston as
Yeah,
he's
of course,
still
you're
unconscious.
moving him around. Just in interest of time, because it's quite late. But excellent work, boys. You make it back to the city, and, you know, Billingston's awake at this time, and the king, you know, perhaps... Well, do you want to have the dialogue with the king?
I'm down.
Kind of.
Closure.
You return into the chambers. Lucius looks like shit. And Billingston is beat up, and everybody's just, you know, a little worse for wear. And he's like, what happened to you guys? And also, why are you back?
I reach out into my pocket and I say, I believe this belongs to you.
Thieves! And the princess is like, no, God, father, it's really yours. Just like take a deep breath. Like maybe you just need to like hang out a little bit, just like chill, like 5 seconds, 4 seconds. She walks up, she's like, thank you. And she grabs the sapphire and she's like, father, they killed the thing, I presume, right?
We
I say
killed a thing.
About 50% of it is right here, but yes.
You killed the Leviathan?
We sure did.
Yes. Thanks for warning us about that, by the way.
No.
Well, I told you to go away.
We
So
went away
this is
to
not
fix
my-
your problem.
That's not my fault. But he says, you have my thanks. I'm sorry I doubted you. All right, I get it. You're the big shots. You're the big deal guys. I get it. Basically, at this point, you know, what do I look stupid, you know, for saying you guys were bad? Thank you. He walks up to you and he clasps his hands around the sapphire and he takes it from you. And he turns your hands over and sees the bracelets and looks at the princess and is like, those are ours. And she's like, yes, but they use them to, you know, do the thing. And he's like, all right, well, they're yours. A parting gift. You get to keep these water walking bracelets, basically.
Well, that's useful.
Also, an excellent question in the chat. Did Billingston get his axe back? Well, it went out into the water and fell all the way to the bottom. And then I'm presuming the boys went and picked it up off the ground on the way in. But yes, he gives you the bracelets, thanks you for your time, and pulls you aside, Lucius, and asks you and Billingston, he's like, would it be possible to maybe put in a word council of 5? Like maybe I get, you know, not necessarily council of 6 or anything, but, you know, maybe like a seat at the table. Perhaps?
I reassure him. I say, I actually work in Columnus now, very closely with the council. I can do what I will do what I can.
Excellent. I thank you very much for that. I'm sorry for the way I greeted you initially, but, you know, difficult times, etc.
You know, we're a little used to it.
All right.
Aren't we ever?
And so he returns to his throne. You're given these bracelets, and you return to the world. The rain has stopped. The king evidently was making the rain in anger of what was going on, and the princess leaving and everything. But all's well in the realm. The Green Hand has been fully expelled, and Shalane can go on living its best days. And if anyone wants to see the rest of the Shalanian adventure from Campaign 1, youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons. Check out Campaign 1. These characters were in it. Gouger, Caius, Lucius, joined by Grum, and Billingston Billingsworth, and many others. Please check it out. Subscribe to our YouTube for more content like this. Campaign 2 starts in 10 days on twitch.tv/ADEF, and then they'll all be uploaded to youtube.com/speedrunners and dragons. Speedrunners Dragons, one word. But gamers, that's it for us for tonight. I really appreciate any and all of you that joined us and watched these wonderful players. My last request, I know I've asked you to follow a million things, subscribe to a million things, but the big takeaways are follow the boys, all right? Twitch.tv/dangers for Super Mario Odyssey speedrunning, Fall Guys content. Twitch.tv/theblacktastic for retro speedrunning, fighting game tournaments, and variety content. Twitch.tv/DannyB for all Ocarina of Time speedrunning goodness and soon-to-be other Zelda glitchless categories. And if a mod would post these links in chat when you hear me say it so that I don't post it too early. Those are my asks. Please, please, please follow these boys. Yes, Dangerous.
And twitch.tv/ADEF, who is
All right,
our dungeon master and host of the show. He actually hosts a show on this channel every other Friday.
Every other Friday.
Yeah.
Bobby has
his
the
face around.
opposite Friday slot.
There you go.
Yep. If you want Friday nights for ADEF or the Blacktastic, I mean, honestly, you know where to go. You're already right here.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes. YouTube.com/speedrunners dragons. All right. Well, it looks like the links. I got it. Twitch.tv/dangers. Oh my God. It had the extra E again. Somebody delete that. My keyboard is chattering. It did that last night as well. Twitch.tv/theblack. Oh, there they are. All right. Railcoon got it. Awesome. Thank you. Gamers, some quick announcements before we go. Also, please do stick around. We're going to take a break and then raid someone. So do please stick around for that. But SGDQ 2021 online prize submissions are now open. Go to gamesdonequick.com to find out about submitting prizes for the event. Frame Fatales, the all-women speedrunning event, will be returning on August 15th to the 21st with Flame Fatales. Game submissions will be open from May 18th to the 25th. Go to gamesdonequick.com/Frame Fatales for more info on the upcoming event. Information on all of our Hotfix shows, including Super Boss Bros and Challenger Approaching, is available at gamesdonequick.com/Hotfix. From there, you can find out more information about submitting your runs to any of our weekly shows. And tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, will be Skyblazers race on Speed Seasons. So check that out. Gamers, thank you so much for hanging out. Peace. Stick around for the raid, and I hope to see you during Campaign 2 of Speedrunners and Dragons in 10 short days. Peace.